The Layer's a hard place to live. Real hard. Ain't no soft landing nowhere in here. Smiling at you like it already know your name, already in the room when you walk in. That's the slings and arrows, you don't hear them fly, you just feel that sting and wonder where it came from. Whole layer wrapped in dark mystery. Old magic in the walls. Wizards whispering deals they don't keep. Dragons watching from the shadows, counting bodies like loose change. Succubus love looks sweet at first, then you wake up lighter than you went to sleep. Heart tax, soul pawn. It's war out here. Quiet war. Betrayal wears silk and smile real nice. Same cats break bread with you. Be the one selling your name 2 streets over. This whole thing a stone cold trip, baby. No fair fights, no refunds. So whatever shield you walk around with, it better be battle tested. Not shiny. Not shiny. Not fresh out the armory, I'm talking chip paint. Bent edges. Blood you couldn't wash off even if you tried. Cause the Layer don't care how fly you look in your armor. They care what's still holding when the smoke drifts off. If you still here tomorrow, still breathing, still standing on your square, then yeah, you's a bad mother. Shut your mouth.
Layer. Let me see. All of the likes. Good morning, Chalk. We're going to start right here. Speed it up.
This Asian man is telling the truth. Watch.
Black people, I know y'all looking for accountability from the Asian community regarding Rick Chow and the murder that he committed. So on behalf of the Asian community, I take accountability for this man's actions. He was absolutely wrong for chasing Cyrus when Cyrus left the store. They wasn't even sure if the kid did anything wrong, which it turned out he didn't do anything wrong. So they chased him for nothing. But even if he did steal a bottle of water, 2 bottles of water, or 10 bottles of water, once he leaves the store, you don't chase. You're not only putting other people's lives at risk, you're putting you and your son's lives at risk. All for what? A bottle of water? So yeah, fuck that. He's wrong. And I don't care what anybody thinks. I'm standing on that. But now, black folks, you see what I just did? And I did that from the bottom of my heart because I genuinely believe that he was wrong. But when things happen to Asians, from the black folks, we gonna need y'all to take some accountability as well. It's only right. Accountability for what? We don't even do nothing to y'all, y'all might say. Okay, y'all might just not know. Well, let me put y'all on. Right here, an 84-year-old man was in front of his house minding his own business, and a young black man ran up on him and violently pushed him so hard that he died. This woman right here was in the train station waiting to go home and was pushed in front of a train to her death for no reason. And right here, this man right here followed this woman right here to her home and stabbed her repeatedly until she died. And then you got famous black rappers like YG did a song exclusively talking about robbing Asian homes called Meet the Flockers. Find a Chinese neighborhood because they don't believe in bank account. I mean, just imagine if a Chinese rapper made a song about shooting black kids that stole from the store. Man, y'all wouldn't like that one bit, and y'all would demand accountability. Because why? Because that ain't right. Some of y'all might say, well, it's just a song. It's not like they're really doing that. Wrong. That song and others like it created an epidemic, and it prompted people like him and a whole bunch of other people to target and rob Asian people. Well, y'all understand the Cyrus murder was uncalled for. And I get it. Y'all upset. Y'all want to do a boycott. Y'all want to ban Asian businesses. I'm not against it. If that's how y'all feel, that's how y'all feel. Should nobody tell y'all what to do with y'all money. But let's be fair. Just like when y'all see all them examples I just showed, y'all probably was like, well, that's just dumb. That's not all black people. And you're absolutely right. But on the same token, Rick Chow doesn't represent all Asian people. That's him, not all of us.
I agree with him 100%.
What's up, Reese? Good morning, Almanaz. Let's get that one out of the way. That was China Mac, by the way. Oh yeah, we got to make sure we mark this not for children. Let's see, 1.27 seconds, everybody. This is not for the children. Save that over here. Live. Go back. This is not for the babies. And then go here and add this. Forward. This. Let's go back in here and share. I want to full screen this up. Close. Speed it up. Playback speed 145. Are we on camera? We are. And then we're gonna go here. So
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Disregard everything Brownsville just said. And the fact that it's got to be a woman up here who's been telling y'all from the beginning. From the first time you heard me open my fucking mouth, I was telling you. Who was it that said a slave cannot be a man? I think y'all better listen to that and think about what that means. Do not sit here and tell us all the shit that we need to do. When the ultimate problem is that they have the power to do whatever they want to us with impunity. With impunity means that we have no recourse. Now, of course, you ain't gonna have no recourse when you're dealing with his system. And so to sit here and say, oh, but we could work to make it more fair. You've been doing that for hundreds of years and you ain't got there yet. Not even to more fair. I ain't even talking about fair. You ain't even got to more fair yet. Don't tell us we need to be more spiritually inclined. God ain't seeing what the fuck been going on down here for the last 400 years. Where you at? What are you gonna do about it? Don't tell me nothing about his ass when he watching them do it and don't do shit about it. What good is he? I only deal in results and outcomes. I don't care about none of the process, none of that other stuff. And so if he can't make them act right, because he's supposed to be over them too, well then he's useless to us. If that book ain't telling you how to solve this problem, then it's useless to you. If your education ain't telling you how to solve this problem, then it's useless to you. Dr. Amos Wilson said the purpose of education is to help you solve your own problems. The fact that I have to educate men, slaves, excuse me. Because remember, slaves can't be men. And y'all ain't. Y'all ain't. You just ain't.
See, peace and love to you, Queen. I hope you woke up in good spirit.
She woke up in perfectly good spirit. She said what she said, and she been said it. It's not even a new thing. Or maybe people didn't hear when she said it over and over and over again. With impunity, you can do something, it'll just be repercussions. I listened to a strategist say one time, you know, if you're going to do the things that certain people ask you to do, you got to be willing to lose maybe 200,000, 300,000 people. And that's not necessarily the number. During the time that you're going into this back and forth, can you feed your people? Do you got farmland? Can you get the water? Can you get the food? Can you get the stuff to the people? Because when it turn into some full-fledged whatever, the trains will be blocking people in. It will be very, very strategic. Do people prepare like that? But the protests and all the other stuff, I guess you can keep doing that over and over again. And even when this other thing jump off and you lose 200,000 or 300,000 or whatever it's going to take to go into this back and forth, there will be something to pacify you, and then you probably have to get rid of have another 200,000 or 300,000 that you're willing to lose, collateral damage, because it's got to be it would be a nonstop fight when people have 100-year plans, 200-year plans. Do you have 100-year plans, 50-year plans? Folks want you to jump. Are you prepared to jump? And then when you prepared to jump, are you prepared to splat?
Sounds like you're grieving this whole situation as well.
No, it ain't no grieving. This is always my talking point. This is always the standpoint I'm coming from. Always. So it ain't got nothing to do with grief. This is what I know and what y'all too cowardly to do.
Right. And I understand you feel that way. You have a right to feel that way.
It ain't about feel.
But the problem is, right? You mentioned a slave, right? And I'm glad you.
And she's not talking about feelings. These are her thoughts. See, when you say that kind of thing, that's where they say you're gaslighting them. This is not feelings. This is well thought out. This is not just this moment. She's been saying this.
Because that's what Carmelo Anthony is right now. He's a slave.
All of you all are. All of you all are.
But I'm about
all of you all are. No. All of you all are. And you're not going to run from that. You will not run from that because you always try to run from it and think that somehow because you work in there with them white folks, even though you can't do nothing, you can see them snatch somebody, kick them in the head, snatch them in the doing all sorts of wrong. And you with your black self can't do nothing about it. So miss me. It just is what it is. And I'm not going to let you run from it.
Let me see. Chalk, Reese, Almond, L.A., Deacon Dave, Truth, B Sneezy. What's up?
We got to accept it before we can change it.
I understand you feel that way, and we're just gonna have to disagree about that, right?
Okay, but the outcomes are showing everything, right?
And she's already said multiple times, this is not a feeling thing. Now, Brownsville, I thought you listened to the Queens.
Because we've been trying it your way for hundreds of years, and it ain't worked yet. So the proof is in the pudding, as they say.
Right. And here's the thing. If you say I'm a slave, right? But I'm gonna be on the beach. Me and my family gonna be on the beach in a really, really nice place.
Right. And if they decided to slap your
Relaxing.
son and do what they did to Cyrus, it would be nothing you could do about it. You would be in that courtroom crying at the end, just like Cyrus' daddy was. So I don't give a fuck about no damn island, because I done been to more of them than you have. And so what does that mean? I'm still powerless in this system of white supremacy. Tell me about no fucking island. So what?
Yeah, but you keep coming back, Queen. That's the thing. Why didn't you stay in Africa?
I don't have to stay. What am I gonna stay over there for when they over there too doing the same thing? Because y'all weak everywhere you are.
Right. And that's you know, you have a right.
So I'm gonna leave and go over there when my people built here, and I'm doing pretty nicely here, even though I still recognize that in the system of white supremacy. Again, I just said, if you'll let me speak, I didn't cut you off. Nobody cut you off. You were able to talk for 20 minutes.
Okay, you're right.
Right. It's right. And I get that y'all don't like it, but I'm gonna keep pounding y'all over the head with it until it sink in, and then maybe you'll be inclined to try to change it.
Can I speak now, Queen?
Go ahead.
So, if in your mind you're a slave, you have a right to feel that way. You have a right to believe that. But I believe.
Okay, I don't give a damn about your belief. I'm sorry. In Brownsville, I love you. But please, let's not play this game, because, again, I'm talking about the system that we live in. So it does not matter what you think. It's what you can do. And you can't do nothing none of the rest of us can't do. And so you in the same slave boat with us. Again, y'all keep trying to fight that. And that is why we stay stuck. Because you think a little job that he had to give you, a little house in a neighborhood that he had to give you the loan to get into, right? And all these, you get caught up in this system every which way, being turned every which way but loose, but to still sit here and say, oh, no, that's not me, because I'm going to an island. So what? I'm talking about power dynamics. And again, in this society, you don't have any, baby. I'm sorry.
Right. And the difference is you choose to walk by sight, right? But I walk by faith. So
okay, well, black people been doing that for a long time. It ain't worked out yet. It ain't changed shit.
It's different, and it looks different than power for you. And you may believe
right. That's why that white man walked into a church full of black people and smoked all of them.
Maybe at some point you're going to acquire this level of power that you visualize, right? And I'm here to tell you, even if you acquire that power, it's going to be short-lived, because that's not the power that you really should be striving for.
Okay, well, why y'all ain't got it? Why God ain't?
And that's what I just said. When you fight and do whatever, you're going to have to keep fighting and doing whatever. Because what will happen is you'll be given something to pacify you. So we fought in the 60s real tough, and we got some legislation that benefited other people more than it benefited us. So when they start naming off, you got this. Okay, and it benefited everybody. It wasn't exclusively for us. And even if it was exclusive for us, it would have been something to pacify us. Good morning, Reese Cup. Good morning, Rapid.
If anybody has a slave mentality,
why is he holding on to it? Because y'all the most religious, black people, the most Christian people around. And so why is he holding on to that power that he's supposed to be giving y'all? Damn me, he ain't got to give me none, but why he ain't giving it to y'all?
He does.
He doesn't, because y'all in the same boat as we. Okay, so where was the power when Dylan Roof walked into St. Emmanuel and smoked 9 black people, men, women, and children? Where was the power? It will never lose its power. I grew up in church too, so where was it?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Everybody listen. We live in a world where you got to take your wins with your losses.
Sing it again.
There's always going to be losses. There's always going to be wins. And sometimes you're going to go through trials and tribulations.
Hey.
And you're going to go through heartache and pain.
Hold on. Jesus, it will never lose its power. Only they seem to have it, and they know how to use it. And he ain't stepping in to do nothing. So,
but let him get a full thought out, please, PhD. Go ahead, cuz.
Well, I was actually appreciating her song. I want to hear more of her song. That was beautiful. I like it.
And all it is is words. All it is words, right? Because they never gave none of y'all nothing.
Can we hear it again? Because I liked it. It sounded good.
I'm sure. I liked it too. Unfortunately, again, it's just words.
Right? But words have power.
Words on paper. No,
words have power too.
No, it's
not.
In
the beginning was the word.
Okay, it ain't done nothing for y'all. Right?
And
words
are just you can speak life and death. And what I'm y'all do is speak life. And if you want, it ain't helped y'all none. Your people to speak death, then that's a choice as well. But
we speaking truth.
What I'm saying is this, right? And I'm speaking as a parent, as a father. And what I'm appealing to the other parents, the other fathers, is we have to start with education. We have
when
to
you letting them
start
educate
with
your kids.
activation.
No, not when you're letting them
And
educate
at
your
the
children.
forefront of both of those has to be a spiritual awakening. We have to walk by faith and not by sight. We have to look to the hills for which cometh our help.
Your help, said he would.
And all of our help comes from him.
Ow, turn from your wicked ways. Seek my face, said he would. God said he ain't done it yet. Again, I grew up there. I know all of the little platitudes. I know the songs that go with them. And again, they're just useless words because they ain't done nothing yet.
We came a long way. And see, I don't dishonor my forefathers, the people who came before us.
I don't either. I know what they did, and I know what they said.
All of them,
probably better than you do.
Actually activated their faith and actually sacrificed their time.
What's up, Ronald? Be Sneezy. I don't think she's angry. Why do you think she's angry? I don't think she's angry. I think a lot of people, when their perspective is what this is it's about acceptance and understanding what's necessary to be done, and they're avoiding what needs to be done because they know there would be no end to it. Because like I said, a certain amount of things will be done. Things will be given to certain people that will pacify them, and they will tell you to shut up because there's not even nothing that's going to last that long. So, for example, the 60s, more collective, got some legislation passed that wasn't necessarily benefiting us alone, and now they're taking all that back. What's going on, Zoomer? Yeah, that's why I don't do it, Rapid. I believe that's taking place, Be Sneezy, because when you saying things that are pacifying, they're pacifying. There's a lot of educated people. There's a lot of black people with money and whatever else. But the overall picture is, where is the power in it? That's the bigger picture. Like the man the other day, there was the Asian man that was saying what he was saying. So the case would be, where are the black banks to give black people loans? Where are the black everything? So you won't have to keep protesting. You'll just go get your hair done at a black place, but they own the hair industry. From the weaves all the way down to the grease. Can you compete with the prices of Amazon?
Time and efforts in order to make this world more fair for us. And all I'm saying is,
it did not work.
Our generation and the generation before us,
we ain't finna keep running on no hamster wheel.
In those efforts.
No,
we dropped the ball.
No,
it is what it is. Fathers aren't fathering anymore.
It is what it is. Is that the men are too cowardly to be men.
That's the problem. And you can.
No, the problem is that another group of men has power over us. That's the problem. It's not nothing we doing. Cut it out.
Dropping the ball as a father is a coward. I agree with you.
I don't care about none of that, because even when y'all was in the homes, they were still able to come and snatch your right. Let's think about Emmett Till. They came there. His uncles was there. Now he was visiting family members. His uncles was there, and they gave him right on up. So I don't care how spiritual you've been. I don't care how intact you've been. I don't care. None of that stuff matters. How educated you've been. None of it matters, right? Because they've always been able to do the same stuff to you, and you ain't never had no recourse.
There's always a recourse.
Matters. None of that stuff, other stuff matters.
And that's why
what's the recourse?
Come so far.
What's the recourse?
Why we come so
no,
far.
You just don't know where you've been.
You
don't know, no, it's not a short amount of time.
We're not too far removed from Jim Crow.
No, you haven't. You have not.
We're not too far removed from
segregation. If you read The
We're not
documents
too
have it
far
going far at
removed
all.
from them sick and
When you
dogs
came
and
out
spraying out
during
people with water
Reconstruction, by
hoses,
the end of
right? And for
Reconstruction,
them not letting us
you
have
were
a fair,
responsible for 1%
equal
of the
opportunity
wealth
to
of this
education,
country.
right?
Fast forward to
Maybe
2026,
you want us
you're
to go back to
responsible
that
for
time, Queen.
Now, I thought Brownsville believed in the Queens. Why are you cutting the Queen off, Brownsville? For the first time in a long time, Brownsville made more sense. Cash App up.
Just say
of
that.
the wealth in this country. And so how have you done better when you still in the same position? This is the thing.
Queen, so you're saying you want us to go back to a time where we was more oppressed. If that's how you feel, just say that.
When did I say anything like that? So
But
don't
that's
start twisting my words.
That's what your
No.
words are translating into.
No, only to an idiot. Only to a fucking idiot would it translate as that. I didn't say that. I said we're still in the same place. That's not saying anything about going back.
But we're in the same place as what?
You
We're
are.
not.
As you were.
We're not.
We are.
We're not. We're improving.
We are.
In
We are
every,
not.
So
We
what
are not. We
what
are not.
area is black people not improving from the 1960s?
Ain't nobody talking about no 1960s. You talking about a short period of time. I told you when you came out of
You talked about Emmett Till, Queen. You brought him up, not me.
Right, I'm snatching them out, and you said, "Oh well,
you
we just
up
got out of slavery in the next short." Okay, now you're getting emotional because you keep. I'm gonna let you go ahead, and then I'll talk.
I'm getting emotional, Queen. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I apologize.
No, go ahead. Go ahead and say what you was about to say.
What I said was, you brought up the civil rights era.
They would take what's happening right now with Brownsville and call that zesty and sassy because he want to argue with a woman. What's going on? Listen to Shun. What's going on? Hurricane. Yeah, they would call this right here going back and forth with a woman being zesty and sassy, even though she may be cutting him off. This has happened on many a panel. Get you in your feeling. You get to going back and forth. You get to yelling and whatever else so they can go, Now I got you in your feelings.
You brought up Emmett Till. You brought up the fact that, oh, well, everything that they did in the past is not working. And we're still in the same messed up position that we was then. And what I'm saying is that's illogical. That is only emotional, what you're saying, because it's not true.
Okay. All right. So, again, what I said was, after Reconstruction, when you came out of Reconstruction, you accounted for 1% of the wealth in this country. Fast forward to today, Black people account for 1% of the wealth in this country. Is that the same or is it the same?
That's the same. Go ahead. Now go somewhere else.
All right. So we got one. Okay. So during Reconstruction, with shit from slavery, Reconstruction, Jim Crow in the 60s, if they wanted to snatch your kid up and do whatever to him, did you have any recourse?
No.
All right. When the man snatched up or tried to snatch up Cyrus and shot him in the back, did his black daddy have any recourse?
Yes.
No, he didn't. I saw him humped over in a heap, bawling next to his mama, the boy's mama.
That ain't have recourses now. They can't just come. Can't nobody just come in my house and snatch my son up and I don't have a recourse.
Okay, that's fine. So what's Cyrus' daddy recourse?
That is, he had recourses. We all have.
What is it? Give us some examples. What could he do?
Depending on the situation. What was
we saw the situation. The man shot his child in the back and got off. So now the man home with his wife and child. And so what can Cyrus' daddy do? Because like I said, I saw him at the end when it was all said and done the trial, bent over in a heap, bawling just like the mama. So what can he do now?
How did his son get shot in the back?
No. The son's dead now, so it don't even matter.
Let's start. No.
But let's start there. No. But do you know what recourse means?
No,
do you know what recourse means?
I start in.
Excuse me. Matter of fact, Chalk is doing in the chat what PhD was doing on the panel. So Chalk, excuse me, not zesty, not sassy. It's even worse than that. She said men are slaves, so they cannot be men. Which one is worse? A slave, zesty, or sassy? I apologize, Chalk. You always put me in my place. So yes, not zesty, not sassy, but going back and forth with a woman. I hear y'all. See, I listen to y'all. Y'all say going back and forth with a woman is zesty and sassy. Now he's trying to talk and she's cutting him off and his voice is elevating and he's telling her that she's in her feelings and all the other stuff. So she said we're slaves, not even men. So that's worse than zesty and sassy. Right? So I apologize. I shouldn't have said zesty and sassy. I should have said slaves. Reese, I listen to people say this. I've been here 4 years on these YouTube streets. I hear men just trying to have conversations with women, and they literally say, you're going back and forth with a woman. Ronald, Brownsville is not cooking shit right here. That's not what's happening.
Beginning,
no,
Queen,
no, no. I don't care. I don't care. I'm telling you. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know you don't
my
care.
Issue. Okay,
because
so
you're emotional. That's fine.
I'm not emotional. I'm just trying to speak without you fucking speaking over me. How about that?
I'm sorry, Queen. Go ahead and speak.
Okay. And so if I'm talking about recourse, somebody please shadow.
So again, I'm hearing what I'm hearing. She asks a question. He's trying to respond to the question. And in the middle of him responding to the question, she says something else. His voice elevates, and then he keeps telling her she's in her feelings. She's emotional. And she's saying it's not about feelings and emotion. This is just about facts, period. And Reese Cup always is in the thing talking about where's the lie at? Where's the lie? So I apologize, Ronald. Brownsville's not cooking nothing right here, right now.
Please pull up the definition of recourse and read it to us. Somebody please read the definition of recourse.
First, give us the definition of course. And then we can
No, because I didn't say anything about course. I said recourse. No, absolutely not. I said recourse. So somebody please give or do I need to look it up, gentlemen?
Go ahead, Cuzzo. But read both. Read course.
No, don't read both. We're talking about recourse. I didn't say course, and you didn't say course. I said recourse. So let's
the act of turning towards a position, person, or organization for help. Exact definition of recourse.
Right. Yeah, recourse refers to the act of turning to a person, organization, or system for help, protection, or justice when facing a difficult situation. It functions as a source of aid or the official legal and financial options available to resolve a problem.
All right. So what legal, financial, whatever did he avail himself of to solve the problem? And then we'll go there. Go ahead. What do you got? Oh, and what person can he go to, or what system can he go to?
Well, he had a recourse to go through the justice system, right? Hire an attorney, advocate for his son's behalf in terms of fundraising, in terms of educating the world on the plight of the situation, right? We have the ability to speak freely on these platforms, right? Our voices are not being silenced the way it was being silenced previously, right? In the Reconstruction era, we didn't have the ability to communicate in the way we have the ability to communicate now, right?
What? All these words y'all can't say on YouTube. All these words y'all can't say on YouTube and social media. Don't say that. Oh, you got to say great. Oh, you got to say delete. Right? Cut it out. You got whatever they give you, right? They said you can use the platform, but don't say this, that, and the third. Meanwhile, everybody else can say whatever they want about us. Please, Brownsville, you're not doing a good job at this, baby.
Well, here's the thing, because see, what I'm speaking to is the greater issue. See, you're speaking to the recourse, and I'm speaking towards the course, right? I like to start in the beginning, not in the middle, and not
right there. Rolling anger, $5. Brownsville. I thought men shouldn't be arguing with women. That's a Brownville statement being read back to him.
in the end.
Yeah,
right?
because you're trying to say, let us prevent everything, because you know you don't have the power to have any recourse if you don't, right? You got to stay out the way. And I actually heard a man, I think it was Jason Black this morning, talking about, oh, we do, if you're in a environment with all of them, you do have some control. You can control whether you breathe, whether you make a sound. Like he was just saying, like, sit there, be quiet, and try to have nobody notice you. But y'all got to understand the way y'all think is dysfunctional. The way that you all think is dysfunctional.
Can I ask you a real question?
What?
Can I ask you a real question, right?
Go ahead.
Because prior to you coming up here, and I know you heard Shadow say this multiple times, and you never gave him pushback. So I didn't hear what Shadow said. I didn't hear what Shadow said with his position, right?
I didn't hear what Shadow said.
Okay, so let me remind you what he said, right? So if you got a son, if you got a nephew, right, who's in Carmelo Anthony's situation, are you going to counsel that young man to do the exact thing Carmelo Anthony did, or do you think it's wise to teach him de-escalation techniques in order to get out of a situation like that? See, silence, right? And this is why I'm talking about the course, right? Because the course is important. We have to start with education.
Hey, Sharon, can I? I let him roll on me the first time, and I let that bullshit fly. I'm down now. Can I? Because he's going to go on another 15-minute tirade talking about bullshit he doesn't actually believe. Mister, I'm willing to jump in for my family on any bullshit. Get the fuck out of here. Nah, bro, you just smoking the pack. Get that shit out of here.
Let them finish their conversation.
No, see, okay. I was quiet because I want to give Shadow the opportunity to interject because he was correct. He was quiet. He didn't say much. So go ahead.
And here's the thing. Most people on here say everything. So that man didn't say you have to be cussing somebody out and do all that. He said arguing. That person that sent that super chat repeated back to him what he said. I think we should be able to have a discussion with each other. And if our voices elevates, so be it. If you start calling me out of my name and I call you out of your name, so be it. I don't think it's zesty or sassy. Y'all say that. I listen to a lot of these folks on here and they talk like they people's mother. But what's the insult for that? That's why some of these cats on here just go, bitch, 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 because they lose it. Because you got somebody talking to you like they're above you. If we all in the same boat, nobody ain't above nobody. That's why a lot of time on here when I say I'm not tripping off this stuff, because I'm literally not tripping off of this stuff. There's no power in most of these discussions. It's like Poppy Blanco say, it's Wi-Fi activism. And comprehension is not the key. His thing was to tell people to shut up and let the queen speak.
My brother, speak your mind.
Go ahead, Shadow.
So let's talk real shit now. Because all this pack smoking Brownsville going through, yeah, we can skip all that dumb shit. Because not 3 weeks ago, Will popped up here saying, yeah, if somebody's going after my cousin, it's up. So miss me with all that. No, we need to be more diplomatic. 4 white boys pulled up on him. He did what the fuck he was supposed to do. He should have took all 4 of them out. Because they pulled up on him. Guess what they also had the opportunity to do? Look at the coach that was 100 feet away and say, hey, there's somebody who's out of bounds. And guess what should have happened? Hey, the coach, being the adult in the room, should have walked over and told that man, hey, you're not allowed to be here. But do you know why that wouldn't have happened? Because in Texas sports, even when you're under another school's tent, because it's a social event, he was actually allowed to be there when he was invited. So miss me with that dumbass shit. Number 2, I'm not going to tell my black kids or any black kids, anybody who I trained, I would tell them these exact words. If you feel threatened, if your life is in danger, make sure you go home. That should be the first rule about being it. Period. You don't know that. Again, 4 white boys who were bigger than him pressed in on him. He warned it. No. Hey, bro. Hey, hold up. Sharon, I'm finna shoot his ass. I ain't got time for this on that shit today. We're finna do this right now. Money's gonna talk today. So go ahead, shoot him. I'll send it to you once I'm done.
Yo, y'all, a lot of people just been making up shit. It wasn't.
It was
Stop the taste out of your mouth. I'd like to see it.
Yeah, I'm not playing that dumb ass shit today.
So Shadow, you made 2 points, right?
I'm not done yet. I'm not done. I'm not done. So number 1, in the Texas school, these are 3A schools, 3, 4, 5A schools, all have the same fucking rule book. Yes, he was actually still supposed to be there. The white boys pressed in on him. You can't twist that any other way. Yes, so he was on our metal bleachers. I will take a picture of the fucking bleachers later today and post it up for you so you can see what they look like. So again, we can have this conversation. Here's what actually went down. He got threatened. He said, and I quote, you will leave, I will beat your bitch ass. That wasn't a half-ass sentence. That wasn't a maybe sentence. It was.
Good morning, Angel.
Hey, if you don't leave, we will beat your ass. You know what he said? Touch me again and see what happens. You know what that is in Texas? That's a fair warning. Hey, I'm warning you. Fuck around and find out. You know what the white boy did instead? Instead of taking that warning and going to the coach, he said, nah, nigga, what's up? So he pulls up and does it again. So when he got stabbed, guess what the fuck happened? He fucked around and found out. Yes. He should have been protected by self-defense laws. Equal force is not necessary in Texas. There were 4 people, 4, not 2, not 3, 4. I don't care if it was one other person. If he felt threatened, he had the right to give him the warning. If the warning was not heeded, guess what he should have done? Smoked his fucking boots. Yes, it's unfortunate that child had to die, but guess what? His parents were out of pocket. His parents should have raised him better and taught him not to bully people. He wasn't just sitting there being, the leader of the tent, because yes, he was actually supposed to be in charge of the tent. But if there was a conflict situation, you know what should have actually happened? He should have went and talked to the fucking coach. But we don't talk about that because you want to find a way to blame black men. Miss me with that, Brownsville. This isn't about parenting. This is, hey, little black boys, little black girls, stand on your square. If you believe you are in the right, don't be afraid to say, hey, I am allowed to be here. And that's exactly what he did. He's serving 35 fucking years. You're trying to take a tragedy. No, he has to do 17 and a half to come up for parole the first time. You said what?
So let me respond to that, Shadow. Right?
Okay.
So first and foremost, I see why Carmelo Anthony made that decision, right? Because you're a representation of Collin County, and the way how lacking of
good morning, Mo Business. Good morning, the Chatter King. And the energy. This is what I'm saying. Instead of being reactive, be proactive. To be this upset early in the morning is wild. But folks be waking up early in the morning on BS. Where's the lie? Where's the this? And you manage this and you manage that. I don't know about none of that. In most situations, the people that are in power, the other people are gonna have to go along to get along until they do what? Take the power. Then the question becomes, how do you take the power and how do you maintain it? You have to keep on fighting. So there will never be no end to the fighting.
Self-control you have, how lacking of emotional regulation you have, how you are so overly emotional and you don't have the ability to critically think. That's the reason why those brothers in Collin County don't understand how to make rational decisions, because they're listening to brothers like you. Now you brought up
Brownsville, what would you have done? I asked you this yesterday.
Hold on, I didn't interrupt you. I didn't interrupt you, right? You said you wasn't done. I allowed you to finish. Now allow me to respond to what you said, right? You brought up Texas law, right? And you said, hey, it's stand your ground. But we just found out it's not. We just found out when you're a young black man in Texas, right? Stand your ground don't pertain to you. So you got to learn how to think and de-escalate situations that you're in. Wow. And he had the ability to escape that situation from becoming a deadly, forced, violent situation. He had that ability, but he chose not to, because people like Shadow would say, hey, why are you going to take an L? All those guys are coming against you. Go and take out all four of them, just like you just said, right?
No.
And if he would have did that, he wouldn't have got 35 years. He would have got like over 200 years.
Let me see. Good morning, my Reed. But this is what is the wildest wake-up show supposed to be? Isn't this what it's supposed to be? Passionate discussions. So the wildest is wilding.
Right? He would have seen the light of day again. And what I'm saying is, to land it, because I know the queen is back, so she wants to speak as well. And then I know Truth is down there as well, and he got something to say on this topic. I understand black people are, for some reason, mentally defeated to the point to where you feel like you shouldn't have to take any losses. You should always win in every situation. But in reality, right, sometimes a loss is an actual win when we go down further down the line, right? Taking a loss can lead to taking a win. And we got to teach our kids how to navigate through tough situations so that they can find out better solutions and outcomes to critical problems. If you got an opportunity to walk away from that situation before it turns violent, to the point to where somebody has to die, you do that.
Right.
Okay, so let me stop this right here. Imperious, you're contradicting yourself, sir. You came up here and gave your dissertation about how y'all dominate and control. That's taken. That's not going along to get along. Domination and control means exactly that. Dominating and controlling things. What's up, Savage? So don't come here today and say Brownsville is right about tucking your tail. A loss is a win in the future. That's going against what you said yesterday. You said the other day we're slaves and you dominate and control us and blah, 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 blah. So the the proper response to that would be dominate and control you. You match equal rights with equal lefts. Because your thing is about dominance and might is right. So dominance and might and right is what you said. So keep it right there.
And we saw Cyrus try to do that, right?
Don't provoke me to anger, or else you'll be in danger.
All right. 651 Mitt with the 100 ball. Bring me back. Okay, can we get the song? Rolling Anger 6728, $5. Brownsville, I thought men shouldn't be arguing with women.
Me and the Queen wasn't arguing. Queen, you thought we was arguing?
No, we weren't arguing. Rolling Anger 6728, $5. For first time in a long time, Brownsville made more sense. Shadow the Titan Boss, $20. Crash out fee. Peasy ain't going. $10. What's up, Peasy? Imperious Aspect of Valor, $2. Ha 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 ha. Tears of Unfathomable Sadness. You know, it's funny because research has shown that the brains of white supremacists are like addicts, right? So you know how drug addicts, if you like a crack addict, you think about crack all day long. White supremacists, racist white people, they think about black people all day long. That's why they are willing to come over here and hang out in the back chat just to be near us. But they white supremacists. But nevertheless.
Yeah. His superiority is being around the night. Sometimes he even comes up here and says, "Night, give me a hug." But he's dominating me somehow. It's a dopamine hit for him just to be around this black man or black people in general.
Yes. The thing is, under the system of white supremacy, all white people are deputized, right? Which is why they always coming up to you saying, "Hey, what you doing here? Are you supposed to be out here? Well, let me see, yo." And so that's exactly what Austin did. He deputized himself to come up, "Hey, you ain't supposed to be under here." Now, we see that these people are getting more and more aggressive and more violent. And so the idea that we would tell black people, well, just de-escalate, right? That's not going to work because, again, Cyrus tried to remove himself from the situation. They chased him down and shot him in the back. You will not be able to deal with this problem or solve this issue by being a hoe. Black men, you won't be able to. You cannot be a hoe. You got to turn off your hoe instincts. I know it's hard, right? It's in you. It's ready to come out. But you got to fight it. If you...
Let's see. And I need the mods modding. I need the mods modding. Savage, are you reading the chat? Almanize, are you reading the chat? My Read, are you reading the chat? Chalk, are you reading the chat? Y'all friendly neighborhood white man is doing the Chud the Builder in the chat. Can y'all see it?
Whoever want to be able to solve any problem.
Let me welcome 651 Mint. You got $80 more. You could do whatever you want with that 651. You can leave it as protection, or you could drop some people if you like to. It's all up to you. What's your thoughts?
Nah, I'm not dropping nobody. It just it's I don't know. Like it seems like people, and it's just on my timeline everywhere. Like people just throwing out like different situations about the case that happened. Like one person said he fell on a knife. Like, was he threatened? I don't think he was threatened to the point where he feared for his life. I think he was just being bullied. And as far as when people say he couldn't be under the tent, I don't think that. I think it was like a school event. Kids can be anywhere and everywhere.
Bullying is not being threatened. She made the term. What's the term? Low informational, highly opinionated. Bullying is not being threatened.
I think the kid was a good kid. He had a higher GPA than me. He had a 3.7, came from a good home. He made a horrible mistake that cost him. He should have got 35 years? No. I think my personal opinion, he'll do 20 and get out. and it's a learning experience. And Brownsville is right. A lot of parents on my timeline, they said this is a teachable moment for their kids, not just dealing with a white kid, but dealing with a situation at their school that they go to. Not to overreact in a situation. So I think people looking in it too deep. When I was listening to the case, I was looking for two things: was racial slurs being thrown out, and did he? Because when I first heard it, they were saying he got jumped, like he got beat down. So I was assuming I would look at the situation a little different. Come to find out, nobody on either side testified that he was getting stumped. Nobody said it. None of the kids say nothing. If we want to say all the kids were lying, then I'm not going to argue with you. It is what it is. I only can go by what was said.
Move on. Nobody said that. So go ahead.
Somebody did say that. But anyway, I just think the kid made a honest mistake. I don't think he meant to kill the white boy. I think he was just embarrassed with social media. Everybody had their phones out, and the white boy.
Apparently they didn't, because we ain't got no video of it.
They probably deleted it. No doubt. No, I'm open-minded.
You know what? The mental gymnastics that black men will go through. I'm sorry. I don't think.
I'm saying.
I do not think nothing of y'all. I'm gonna just tell you right now. I don't think nothing of you.
I just think he overreacted. Like, he was embarrassed. They were bullying him. I'm pretty sure the kids were bullying him. And then the other kids jumped in, and his punk ass friend Eddie, instead of Eddie saying, "Hey, this is my homeboy Carmelo, can he come over here and chill with y'all?" Eddie probably was joining in with him, bullying him. And I think the kid just overreact. He's not a thug. He's not a bad guy. I think the white boys are thugs, and I also think they come from a dysfunctional household, and I think they would bully. They was alpha males at the time, and they just bullied Carmelo. He just made a dramatic mistake, a horrible mistake.
Well, ain't that the result of bullying?
Yes, I agree. That's why bullying, Miss PhD, that's why bullying in Florida, they take bullying very serious. In Florida, kids get arrested for bullying. They don't play about bullying in Florida. I don't know about Texas. They take bullying very serious in Florida. Very serious. So I thought minimum, he manslaughter, second degree, because I don't think he premeditated. I wouldn't say he premeditated. I just think it was he just overreacted. And I'm just gonna leave it at
that. we Wi-Fi lawyers. Good morning, Genesis. Wi-Fi activists, Wi-Fi lawyers. This is just opinionated and supposed to be entertaining.
I think also, listen, man, we got to be responsible here. And I get the queen verbal assassin. I get what she's saying, right? But what happened wasn't an eye for an eye, right? Like, he got pushed, he got shoved. He was in a situation where they was trying to bully him out of the tent. And then he responded by using deadly force. Okay, right? That's not an eye for an eye, okay, right? That's hey. If you come and trespass against me in any way, I'm taking you out of here, right? Wait. And what I'm saying is, we have that culture.
Absolutely not. When Al Kenny was just able to murder somebody,
that's why they were doing those things.
Not. Absolutely
in
not.
Oak Block, right? In Chicago, right?
One day I heard her get at Sharon. Today she getting at Brownsville, and whoever wants to smoke. If I have mental health Genesis, I'm gonna keep it a secret. What's going on, Lord ADS? I'm not going on no panels for a woman to have a discussion about mental health and then make me start questioning mine.
They would take an argument and they would turn it into deadly force. Yeah, absolutely. They would use a gun, right?
Yeah. I'll say here now, though, as far as mental health goes, I try not to think about it. That's what the wine fund is for. Speaking of the wine fund, can somebody support the channel so I can get to that? Because yes, at some point, these conversations over and over each day, you're gonna need your little sip. What's going on, C Rich? You don't think that's the right link? Does it end in B8? Let me see. YouTube. Let's unpin the link. Paste it. Ends in B8. Yes, the Cash App is scrolling on the bottom ticker, so is the PayPal. Support the show. We just looking at Sharon's show the other day and listening to like people say to me, it's stupid you don't vote, and it's stupid you don't. People fight in different ways. Other people think we should be completely engulfed into the American system. Shout out to my brother Chicago Rilla. You should be a lawyer. You should be a judge. You should be a police officer so that the other police officers don't get away with taking somebody out. You should be in all different parts of this American society because you are an American. Exercise your rights. Me, I think it's a hamster wheel, like PhD would say, though.
Come on in.
Play, it's always a treat when players meet. Judge.
Good morning, Lord ADS.
Good morning, Knight. How's it going, brother?
It'd be better if somebody can support the channel so I can get that wine. But Rishun, we already understand you don't like me. I accept it, brother. I don't want to have arguments with Imperius, not because I give a damn about what y'all saying, but it derails the show. I don't want to have arguments with you, Rishun, not because I give a damn about what you're saying, but it derails the show. Not that I have Keel wrote some damn post the other day talking about, I understand why you hate me, Nightish. I don't hate none of y'all. Y'all just annoying. Why would I hate? Hate is y'all don't understand. I'm indifferent. I don't give a damn about what y'all saying. Y'all just annoying. Y'all derail the show. It's no hate at all. You just talk sporadically, irrationally, and it has nothing to do with the topic. What do you think about this, though, Lord ADS? We slaves, so there's no way we could be men.
I say this, brother. Something about your channel attracts a wide
all the
variety
weirdos,
of people, a wide variety of people, and sometimes it is a little bit like a little, you know what I'm saying, shocking and weird, right? Of some of the people you attract. It's just like, I mean, the conversations be really good, but the minute you drop the link, I mean, they jump up here on this panel like a bunch of wild animals and start going and fighting and carrying on. You know, I want a conversation. I come here for the conversation, but I don't come here to fight. You know what I'm saying? I don't fight with niggas on the internet for this reason, right? Because I can't do nothing to you. I can't get to you. And I'm not good at arguing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one of these debater types. I'm a shoot. Well, I don't want to say it like that. You know, I'm more likely to do the physical part than all the talking. So, in regards to this, right? Are we talking about the topic from yesterday that they were kind of covering with
they're just saying in general, because I believe they saw something where somebody said, I've been seeing this my whole life. Then somebody asked a question about, have you ever seen a all black jewelry? And then she came up today, soon as she came on the show, and she said, that's because y'all slaves. So there's no way you can be men. And then Imperius said the other day that they control our minds, so they control our bodies. What's going on, 12th man? Hello, Rogue C. They say we don't push or thrive for intelligence, to be doctors and lawyers and judges and all these other things. So what is the bourgeoisie? I thought you had to have 3 generations of people that went to a certain college and you taught your kids this, and it was ingrained and engulfed into them. And those are black people. So what is that? What people do is they isolate on minorities of people and then make blanket indictments. The majority of people are average and they don't have the intelligence to be able to create that excellence. So sometime when a child has his own, they went and decided, I want to be a judge, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be whatever else. A lot of people don't have the infrastructure to thrive for that excellence. What's up, Vic?
That's a whole fact, brother. And I agree with Diva on certain points of that, right? Because at the end of the day, they're sending you a message loud and clear that you aren't worthy of protections of the system, right? So whenever you get into something, it's always going to be something negative towards you for the most part. You might get a win here or there, but 99%, so you know what I'm saying, right? Versus anything that they do is excludable by law, right? And then people support that. That's disturbing to me. But on the flip hand side of that, yeah, yeah. I mean, media stuff like that. I mean, think about it, Nitis. How much of our culture is just built off media, right? Where people act, I mean, even the behavior patterns, right? How people think, how people act, the ideas they have. How much of that is based off media versus their own thinking in that situation or their own thoughts? Probably a vast majority of it, I'm thinking, is based off, let's say, something they saw versus something they experienced, right? So that's got some truth to it.
So we got our brother Hamp. Seems intelligent, went to college, and he said you get a lot out of playing football. That's sports. We have so-called intelligent people in the space. I don't know that everybody's saying go be a rapper or a athlete, but that's where you are allowed comfortably. Those brothers like they may not like chaotic, but people like that, they say you're supposed to be thriving to create infrastructure amongst your people. Because if you're not doing that, what are you doing ultimately? Most athletes with the millions of dollars they have, after they stop playing, their money is gone within 5 years. Most of these people we see in positions of, if they excelling in social media, whatever else. Like right now, we got the big hit and kick and all this other stuff is Dean the Great and Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner is drinking like a fish, hard liquor, and he's not sipping it, he's gulping it down. And all the boxing people that will speak about it are saying they don't like seeing him like that. And they're suggesting that that young man, Dean, is somehow making him be that.
Making him be another grown man, making another grown man do what again?
Do you know who Adrian Broner is?
Yeah. I watch AB, man. Sometimes he's so crazy, but
so a young man who used to be a fan of his named Dean the Great is a boxer also, but like in the amateurs. He went and got him and brought him onto his social media. So they're on Kick or Twitch or one of those, right?
Yeah.
And they're making a lot of money, but everything that they're doing, when I look at it, looks like humiliation rituals, a lot of sus stuff, and disrespecting women, and just Adrian Broner just getting drunk as a fish.
Yeah, man. I mean, you can blame Dean for that if you want to, but at the end of the day, Adrian was like this before Dean came along. He was like this for years, man. He's been like this for almost decades. The only difference is his talent offset his behavior, right? For years. You know what I'm saying? He was so talented, you know what I'm saying, when it came to the hand thing that people ignored the rest. But now that fame, that celebrity is starting to fade in a big way, and now people really started taking notice of his behavior. I blame Dean. No, not 100%. I think Dean just the latest manipulator of a long list of manipulators when it comes to Adrian, Bronner. I remember the guy before this. I forgot. It was a few years back. He used to hang around. Forgot his name. Can't remember. But he was also accused of, manipulating and influencing Adrian Broner. And I think people just need to accept the truth. Adrian Broner is just that way. This is just the way he is.
Yeah. In fact, it was a group of them. It was Errol Spence, Adrian Broner, Javante Tank Davis. All of them used to be like in a little group together, and they always drinking. They all except Errol. Errol was married, but Javante keep getting caught up in DV cases and all kind of wild stuff. They always going. Earl was crashing a lot, and they kept saying that's because he was drinking and gambling and doing all this other crazy stuff. Good morning, creative. So these is men making these decisions. These men making these decisions. But as far as teaching athletes how to have financial literacy, they know it. So when We used to have Stanley coming over here talking about, oh, how dumb I is. I know basic stuff. I know basic stuff. And I know that athletes, after 5 years, all their money is gone. I used to play films about it with Kawanje Kunjufu, explaining about that's a bad idea to have all your kids in sports, because when millions and millions of kids aspire to do sports, they never do. The majority of them don't. So it's like pointless. You have to be the top, the elite. And then some of them don't get there because they break their leg or whatever else in college. I'm happy that now they at least can make some money while they're in school. Now you can, go to foreign leagues and whatever else. But yeah, all this stuff that we do, you have to be involved in multiple things now. Just having a job is not enough. So when I hear people on here go, just go get a job, just go do this, just go do that. It's people with 2 jobs and they need another one. And they need another one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So y'all got to do better or not. Keep being who you are. So I understand what she's saying. And then we don't work with each other like that. Because like I said, let's say you had the multiple jobs, but let's say you got a bunch of neighbors in the community and you going to grow the potatoes and tomatoes and cabbage and whatever else. And I'm going to grow the onions and garlic and whatever else. And we just barter food. That'll cut some costs. Solar panels, everything you can do to cut costs.
I just read today that they're shutting down the global warming system, which really kind of freaks me out, right? Because at the end of the day, it's 10 years into a 25-year cycle before replacement, right? And nobody knows why they're just taking it down. And that to me is quite a bit disturbing, right? To hear that. Because those metrics are needed in our society in order to make sure we regulate what we're using from a phosphorus perspective. But most people don't give a crap about that nowadays. They just care about their car running on the road. They get where they need to go, and they doing whatever they need to do, right? Versus the effect it has on the environment, which is a very disturbing kind of aspect to me of this new sort of human behavior. Almost, how do you say it? Cavemanish.
They probably need to eliminate cars altogether and just have rapid transit everywhere to limit the emissions.
Not going to happen.
I know, but that's just in response to if people care. For short distances, maybe see some pedal things like rickshaws and blah blah blah.
It's crazy.
Oh, okay. Y'all can hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Because absolutely not. When Daryl Penny just got off, they said it was self-defense. That man didn't touch nobody. He was yelling on a bus or a subway. It was a subway. It was in New York, right? The white man, because he was yelling, came up, put him in the headlock, had him on the ground, and ended up the man lost his life. And they took him to court for M1, and he got off. It was self-defense. So if someone cannot touch you, and if you are justified or are defending yourself by deleting that person, then certainly if somebody touch you, you justify in deleting that person, because that is definitely self-defense.
Did we read the verbals?
No, we didn't.
Chat,
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay.
Not if you're a young black youth.
No, right. And so
Not
we're talking about the different system that we're living under, and you right. You're talking about live under, but just adjust, make yourself smaller so you can live under. No, we're not doing that.
No, what I'm saying is live to fight another day.
There are black Christians and white Christians, and both love the Bible. The difference is that y'all focus on turning the other cheek, while they focus on an eye for an eye, and that's why black men are losing.
Oh. Sharon, so I'm calm right now. So here's my issue with what Brownsville is saying specifically. He's saying that we need to figure out we should have de-escalated. He's ignoring all the other factors in the matter. And because I'm not going to make it personal now, this is what Brownsville think about this. Because he's somebody who's in the system, who's telling us to act in the system because you're already disadvantaged. I can't think of anybody who would say, hey, if you are being pressed by 4 people to let that happen, yes, my method might have been a bit more extreme, but I would not have told that man to tuck his tail and run. I would not have told that little boy that when that white boy pushed you to let it happen. I would have told him, give him the warning. I'm in Texas. Fuck what you're talking about in New York. I'm not. And again, in New York, they should have hung him even worse. In Texas, we can actually defend ourselves. He didn't push him once, he pushed him twice. At that point, hey, when I warned you, hey, if you touch me again, I have something for you. You know what he should have done?
But the outcome of that is this. The outcome of telling the babies that, and I understand exactly what you're saying, because I saw that when I was younger too. Don't let nobody put their hands on you. But I think with that being said, you can overreact. Some people hit you and you can't really do nothing back to you, and then they'll beat you. If I hit you and you don't do nothing back, I need to leave you alone. You're not fighting me back. But if I hit you and you don't do nothing, I just keep beating you.
Instead of saying, oh, you ain't got nothing in your backpack, he should have turned around and talked to the fucking coach. He should have practiced de-escalation because he was the aggressor. But guess what? You don't care about that. You care about that little black boy. He could have went home. Yeah, he could have went home. And he could have been stomped out. And he could have, you're saying we should have waited retroactively to see what they did to him. No, I'm saying, hey, you gave him his warning. He ignored your warning. When he put his hands on you again, that's one less bully you have to deal with. Yeah, you don't like it. You don't like it, but guess what? You don't like it, but guess what? I would have made sure my son came home that night.
Shadow, I got a question. My son, you know what I taught my son? Hold on 1 second, 651. What I taught my son is a good left hook, a good right hook, a good jab, a good cross, how to stick and move, right? I put him in a boxing gym early.
Great, but there were 4 people who was pressing up on him. Okay, all right, I got you.
Let me finish, right? This is what y'all black men don't do as well. Y'all don't equip y'all children with the tools necessary to handle.
This is fear and pandemonium and anger all speaking at the same time. You can hear the fear in Brownsville's voice, right? About, saying, don't do this, don't train in boxing, use his hands. It doesn't matter. You don't understand. It doesn't matter, right? What you train your kids
Give me 1 second. We got to bring somebody up. Don't forget your thought.
Come on in.
Play, it's always a treat when players leave. Judge.
Good morning.
Good morning, Nighters. How y'all doing?
Okay. Go ahead, Lord Adias.
It doesn't matter what you train your children to do. You're not seeing the bigger point. They can come get them at any time for anything. I mean, this goes across all like administrations, even before Obama's, right? Trayvon Martin, you go across Sandra Bland, all these different administrations, all this stuff has kind of occurred, right? When it comes to black people. And you got to understand, the message is real simple. Saying you're not allowed protections under the laws. Saying? Unless you perform everything perfect. Even then, Jonathan Major's example of doing everything right and still getting, saying something on your record, right? The message is clear. If you come into their courts, saying it's likely that the decision that they come down with, the judgment, is probably not going to be as favorable, saying, as a lot of people would like it to be. Not even closer remotely. So for me, I've decided to take my brain space and to move on from this, right? Dwelling on this ain't gonna fix this. This is a systematic issue, right? I mean, I believe the vast majority of people in this country are good people, well, decent people, right? The vast majority of people in this country are decent people. It's only a few, that kind of stand out with all the hate and all this other stuff. But it's the system itself that's actually causing the ruin, because there haven't been explicit changes made to certain laws, right? Especially when it comes to minors. I don't believe that a minor, unless they go and blow up, or destroy something of, and life does matter, right? Life does matter, but in this situation, still a boy. Boys fight. Stuff happens all the time. And when I was a kid, I got hit in the head with a brick. I got hit in the head with a bat. Did I go around here screaming assaults? No. I fought back, got what I needed. But that's me. I'm capable of doing that. A boy with epilepsy probably ain't capable of doing that. So it's amazing to me how we all jumping on this and not looking at the bigger picture here. Right? What we don't want going forward is 2 American children at a public high school track meet fighting for a tent in the rain. That to me is just explicitly unacceptable under any circumstance, right? or especially just for pure shelter itself. That shouldn't happen here in America. But no one's talking about making changes to track meets, adding more supervision, you know what I'm saying? Maybe even bigger tents in some cases and making these tents inclusive, right? Say, hey, if you're at a high school track meet, you can go set on any one of these tents because guess what? All these tents are basically owned by the state, you know what I'm saying? And our school system. Instead, what we have is people fighting based on whatever school they went to, which causes, you know what I'm saying, a whole lot of dilemma, mayhem, and just chaos in these circumstances, situations. I think people are missing a bigger point of the opportunity to make a change here with no circumstance to make sure this doesn't happen again versus just dwelling on this whole thing, right? Which is not going to do anybody any good because it's said and done at least for 5 years, right? He might get an appeal in the next 4 to 5 years of some sort. And even then, they're probably just going to reduce it down to manslaughter. But until then, I mean, take advantage of the opportunity to learn something, grow in
Yeah,
the moment, and then move forward with that, right?
Some people, this is
that's
an
a big
opportunity to
if.
make this a big
But
deal. They wait for times like this so they can, have these kind of discussions.
What do you get off, you know what I'm saying, even saying that you were right about a certain situation involving two boys, because nobody really wins. Everybody loses, right? The boy's caught in a bear trap, you know what I'm saying? And what he's saying, him and his, there's lots of stuff. I have lots of criticisms of the Mellows, right? In the circumstance situation. The money thing, that's one part of it. They say they didn't get it, but I'm thinking, do all this stuff, they got something out of it some way, somehow. Or at least were able to get a loan against that, right?
well, I think the fundamental thing here is that you can't bring a weapon against an unarmed man. I mean, you just can't. I mean, if you got a problem with them, let's go blow to blow. I mean, let's get down, let's
So
duke it
12
up
man,
or
12
whatever.
man. We want to hear your dissertation, but I was talking. So I understand that you're excited about this, but can I have the etiquette to finish, opportunity to finish, so you can jump in and say whatever you're going to say?
My bad.
Uh, I think I'm voting against to say, hey, these type of fights happen all the time. I think it's what you get the statistic right, but I think how many kids lose their lives in fights per year?
I don't know.
Let me get you those stats on that. You can go ahead and tell then 12 man. I'll come back to it.
No, I already said what I was gonna say. I mean, I mean, if two people are gonna fight, let them fight. I mean, but one shouldn't bring a knife to an unarmed man. I mean, I, that ain't right. Period. In my opinion.
People walk around with weapons all the time.
Yeah, but you can have a weapon and not pull it on someone at the same time.
It isn't working.
You know
Let me
what I
read this
mean?
off to you really quick, and then you can go back
And
on
not
that.
everybody can fight. So if you don't send your kids learn how to fight early, like I was talking about Adrian Broner early. He said he'd been fighting since he was 6, boxing. These people that go learn to box when they're 20 and 30, how are they going to be able to compete with somebody that's been boxing since they're 6? At the end of the day, that's about technique and skill and repetitiveness. So you have to have years of sparring and everything else. So when people be like, just fight, who are you fighting? Are you fighting a kid that's been boxing since he's been 6? And now he's in high school and he's 17, and all you know how to do is just swing? You don't get the brakes beat off of you, especially if that person don't believe in if he hits you once and you don't fight back to leave you alone. There's some sick people
Well,
out
the
here.
only answer to that is bring a gun.
Range. Whether it's beating you up, stabbing you up, or shooting you up.
If you're gonna bring a knife, I'm gonna bring a gun. That's that.
So that's equal. So that's equal force.
Yeah.
Okay, so then he thought that kid was bigger than him, so he had the knife.
It's
So that makes the same thing. So he had a knife and you got a weapon. That's that equal force. That's extreme in comparison.
Yeah, would have gave him a chance. Right?
Well, I think that you're missing the bigger point, 12 man, and trying to root for one side or the other, right? In circumstance. There are two boys fighting for a tent in the rain at a public school track meet. Both of them are American boys. Why does that need to occur in the first place? Where's the supervision at? Where's the guardianship? Where's the people supposed to be watching over that, right? You know what I'm saying? Those are the things that matter to me. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. As far as that goes, I mean, 90,000 kids go to the emergency room per year due to fights. I mean, it happens all the time, right? You know, but actual deaths that seem to be, they don't give me a number on that. They just said there are some, but you know, but either way in this situation and circumstance, how can we prevent that going forward, right? In this circumstance, because one thing we don't want is this to be an outbreak of things too. Because now, I mean, I understand the judgment. People don't see the bigger hypothesis and judgment. I mean, because one thing you don't want is a bunch of angry, you know what I'm saying, in Texas, especially in that county, people feeling a certain way because they think that, you know, certain things occurred and no justice didn't prevail in that particular circumstance, because that could cause an outbreak of violence too here in the United States. So, and let's be honest, the other population is much bigger than what we have, right? So we just be more targets again for that crap, for the crazy stuff. But the big takeaway for me is, you know, how can we prevent this from happening, you know, saying in the future?
I don't think you're gonna prevent too much of anything. They can create more laws and do whatever they're gonna do. Kids are gonna be knuckleheads and roughhouse no matter what. It's just what kids do.
Facts. But you can get that level down though too, because remember, violence in schools, even at the 90,000 you see annually worldwide, has dropped tremendously. When we was growing up, it was so common that you see school fights every day. I mean, every day you go into school, you see a fight in the parking lot, you see a fight in the cafeteria, you see a fight in the classroom. I mean, to me, when I was growing up, fights was like extremely common, right? I mean, one could break out anywhere, anytime, and sometimes you got them daily, like 3, 4, no saying 2, 3, 4, 5 days a week, right? Kids fighting over whatever and what else. I think that's due to poor kind of leadership and guardianship, right? At the school I went to, you know, saying the teachers basically move behind cages and glasses, right? And then when they talk to you, it's always a good 12 foot away from the desk. So it's one of those things I think we can improve on as society and make better. I mean, just through rationing means, you know what I'm saying? But it's something we definitely have to look into, you know, right? To kind of resolve out, even though the balance is way down. Because you remember the 90s, you probably remember 212, man. When we was growing up, I literally saw kids with guns in school.
Yeah, regularly.
Yeah. I knew a guy who carried his gun, no saying, in his backpack. He used to show it to me. So what do you do about that?
There's nothing you can do about it.
Well, I think that's a lot of the things we missed from school when, like, we were younger, was taught to use guns and taught to use fists and not to put up with bullies and stuff like that. You know, fight back, stuff like that. You know, instead of just stab them in the heart or whatever.
I don't think people understand what them circumstances are. And again, they're just picking sides. Do you think that he meant to delete him? I'm talking to 12th man.
Well, I'm not sure if he meant. It's not really what he meant to do.
Y'all
It's what
talk
he
like
did.
racist, though. Y'all talk like racist. Y'all talk like that black boy who was a good student just wanted to stab a white man. That's what you sound like. He was just running around with a knife, wanted to stab a white man, or a white boy, or a white child. A child.
Well, the black guy's in the
stab a white
trial.
child, huh?
The black guys in the trial said that
He
he
has
was looking for
35
trouble.
years. He has 35 years. And the school that the tent that he was in was the Metcalf's school. I don't think he went to the same school. He was invited into the tent by somebody from the Metcalf school. So let me understand this. A school team has a person that's not from their school in something. You thought the team was going to say, oh no, that guy didn't do anything wrong. Why wouldn't they go along with their team of 10 when they all in this all together? Why would they say something different?
Well, there's a lot of black students there too, so
that sounds racist. That sounds racist. When you constantly say blacks and whites and the black said this and the white said this, that sounds racist. I'm not talking about blacks and whites. I'm talking about two children, the Metcalf child and the Anthony child, was doing stuff that kids do, and kids bring weapons to school. They do all kind of dumb shit. They bring drugs to school. So you just got through saying moments ago that you remember the
I don't
90s.
think I ever brought a gun to school.
That's you. You never saw nobody bring a weapon to school when you were in school.
No, I don't think I ever brought a knife or anything like that.
Not you. I'm asking you, did you ever see anybody with brass knuckles at school?
No.
You never saw nobody with a knife at school?
No.
You never saw nobody with a gun at school?
Just in ROTC.
Okay. I saw all of that at school. Brass knuckles, knives, guns, drugs, all of it. At multiple schools. Because I lived between my mom and dad. My dad lived in West Oakland. My mom lived in East Oakland. I saw weapons in all schools. When I was in West Oakland school, when I'm in the East Oakland school, when I was in elementary, I saw weapons in all schools.
Oh, Oakland. That says it all right there. No wonder.
What does
now
that mean?
I understand more about United. Now that you said Oakland.
Well, so what does that mean about Oakland?
It's a very dangerous place to live.
Right. Do you understand that?
Especially for white people.
Do you understand that Oakland has a minority of black people?
No, I didn't really know that.
Oh yeah. Oakland is a melting pot. It's Koreans, Cambodian, Laotian, white, Mexican, some of everything. It's not all black. When I went to school, it was not a black school.
What about Compton? You know anything about Compton?
I didn't live in Compton.
I mean, I had a blade in school too. I mean, I carried through middle school and part of high school. 7-inch blade, but you know, I kept it more for stuff I need to do. Like I like to go fishing sometimes, or you know, need to go skin something right quick. You know, shoot, take out deer, whatever. Stuff like that, right? So for me, it was common carrying a blade around too, at least to 10th, 11th grade. At that point, I had a car and I kept everything out in my car. But I used to carry a blade in my backpack all the way through middle school. I mean, just because at the end of the day, it's a threat, right? It's a threat. People know you got a blade, nobody messing with you. You know what I'm saying? Versus, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You walk outside one day and some dude got some beef about his little girlfriend, right? She talking to you, y'all doing whatever. And then all of a sudden he just comes out of blue something and attacks you. But I've really never had those instances, especially to this point. But usually just having the blade alone in the backpack is enough to deter folks who might think to do something to you, right? As a kind of defense mechanism. So I see both points on this. No one deserved to lose their life for a tent in the rain either. Right? I agree with that 1,000%. No one deserved, or no one. That's one thing that Travis, that should have never happened. But ultimately though, why are the kids fighting over tent in the ring to begin with? Right? So that's what it comes down to. Ain't no winners, no losers. It's just all losers in this game because a lot of people like, are just looking at this from one perspective, win or lose. But in reality, this is just harmful to society and harmful to our children. So this has to be kind of tapered and handled a little bit differently. And I'm really disappointed in the people who say they're adults around here with children and the way they've handled this whole circumstance and situation.
I don't know. We live in a violent society, and I don't like the whole idea that it's one group of people that's violent. That's absurd.
It's just building a narrative, and that's part of the problem right now. It's just everyone's got a side right now. We've become too tribal in the way we think. Instead of just thinking as a collective, as Americans, everyone's got a side, and ultimately that might be our end because we're ignoring the real issues that are going on. Right? Everyone's ignoring the real stuff and just treating this like sport. It's not a sport. This is human life.
You don't know how to handle a situation with the right amount of force, right? If somebody push you, okay. If you saying, oh, I got to meet that person where they are, fine. Put something on them to where they're going to know, and everybody around them going to know, hey, this is not the person to mess with. And if he would have did that, if he had a good left hook, right cross, 2-3 piece, I'm willing to guarantee you, we wouldn't even have a trap. We wouldn't even have an arrest.
So,
right?
are you saying we should suggest our kids
The blood that tastes out of your mouth. I'd like to see it.
Shadow, I have a question. You familiar? Since it happened in Texas, do you think if this happened, y'all hear me? Go ahead.
Hold on. Hold on. Somebody dropped Cuz for $20. It says buy Brownsville. They on Cuz next today.
What's up, y'all?
Shadow, quick question. If this would have happened outside of a school function, do you think would have made a difference?
No, sir, because the same thing applies. My point is this: I don't care who it is, and I'm gonna say this wholeheartedly, and I hope every black child hears me. If you are ever pressed up by 4 Caucasians who are coming to threaten you, do make sure you make it home, whatever the cost is. You're more important to me than they are.
The reason why I asked that because he had a weapon on.
Hold on one second, y'all. Hold on one second. Y'all want to just hold on. We need more likes. We got over 200 people watching the show. We need to get to at least 150 likes. We're not even at 100 likes. That's the same. We need to get more shares. We need more likes. And we need one of y'all that is on Brownsville side to bring Brownsville back. Stop playing.
Sure,
you can bring it back, Sharon. Sharon, you can bring it back. You can bring it back.
And also, I want to also let the chat know if you want it. If you want it.
Y'all petty, man. God. Y'all are petty. Like, I can't take y'all serious. I'm trying to have a serious conversation, and y'all just being petty. I'm like.
If everybody in the chat, you want to talk to anybody on the panel, they cannot see the chat, so you're gonna have to do it through a super chat. That's how they can see it. So that's how that works. Hit the like and the share, please, and thank you. Go ahead, Brown. Finish up.
Can you speak to how many times we got jumped? Did we ever have to go? Did we ever have to go to a knife or go to a gun? What do we use, cuz? That's what we're not teaching our children anymore. That's why brothers like Shadow in Collin County is failing right now, because he's teaching them.
Nigga, I teach people how to fight. That's what you're saying. What your statement is fake. I literally teach people how to fight every fucking weekend. Fuck what you're calling you, Brownsville. I'm telling you, if it got to the fact where the nigga got jumped, I'm telling you, take those bitch ass niggas out. Fuck what you got going on.
This is too performative. This is way too performative.
I don't know if it's performative. I think this is how these people think. You think the Brownsville is being performative when he asked his cousin when they got jumped what they did? Yeah. When I got jumped, I had sticks and all kind of stuff.
When I got jumped, I wish I had a knife. I got hit across the head with a bat. I just happened to live.
I didn't get hit across the head with a bat. I got hit across the head with it was like a 3x3.
I got hit across the head with a bat, my head bleeding. I got the bat out of the nigga's hand. You know what I'm saying? Start hitting him with it. I didn't know blood was running. I didn't even see the blood until, you know what I'm saying, his mom ran out there and said, oh my goodness. She's like, stop hitting my son. And then from there, you know.
So why do you think what they're saying is performative?
Because at the end of the day, they're yelling over a hypothetical. This happened one time that I've seen in the last, I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like this case. That attract me, right? So to take it to this extent of yelling and screaming and we're gonna fight and you're gonna do this and that is crazy talk to me.
Happens pretty often though.
It does. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to rationalize this, right?
We're not
It's
that
one
rational.
incident.
People try to have rational conversation with irrational people. If somebody comes in hot already, early in the morning, it's just turned 7:07 where I'm at. Early in the morning, they've been waiting all night to yell at a man, waiting all night to yell at a woman. They want to get their point across. They want to be heard because they're probably not being heard outside. They probably can't be heard nowhere else.
Facts.
But their whole thing is, they pick and choose. They got their favorites. Today's show is called Persona Non Grata. People say, Nightish, why don't you do a show? Nightish, we ain't seen you in a little while. Nightish, blah, blah, blah. And I say, do y'all support the show? And I don't spend all day saying support the show, support the show, support the show. But if I do 2 or 3 shows and ain't nobody sending no support, you making a statement right there. Now, that does not have anything to do with the people who do support the show, which you have to say also because people be like, I just sent you some money the other day. Okay, thank you for the money that you sent me the other day. I appreciate it. Well, we're not going to take nothing away from that. But do you remember you was the only one that sent me some money the other day? StreamYard is $50-something a month. I have 2 channels. I mean, I don't understand the purpose. Canva, the thing I use to do these AI images. What's the other one? ChatGPT. Every single thing we use on YouTube to bring this stuff to you all costs money. Right now, we're looking at Sharon's video. That's YouTube Premium, so we don't have commercials in the middle of them. Y'all go to channels where they got commercials in the middle of them, and y'all send them money. I'm not saying break yourself. We talking about $5 every now and then. And then y'all say, y'all come over, y'all try y'all best to be hurtful. I'm so happy I'm not an emotional person because I done heard it all. You're fat, you're old, you're drunk, you're this, you're that, you're this, blah, 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 blah. And then in the chat, you're dumb, you're this. And then somebody saying something horrible somewhere. You got the angry women in the chat talking about, well, where are they wrong at? We're not looking at just poop on women. And y'all go to the channels where this is taking place. My channel is a little too mild-mannered for y'all. Why? Because if I don't feel like arguing, I'm not letting Reshun up. I'm not letting Vic up. I'm not letting James Kills up. I'm not letting Imperious up because all they want to do is get their rocks off. I do not go to people's channel to argue. Like Genesis came up here talking about, am I going to come to her channel when they talking about mental awareness month or whatever this is for men? No. I think the last thing you need to do if you feel unstable is be somewhere crying about your unstableness. Send the wine fund money. Screw the unstableness. We all gonna die one day. Why not let whoever and whatever enjoy life the best way they can? Because we don't know what's real. These conversations is just conversations to me. Is it unfortunate that young man got done that way? Yeah. But are y'all going to vote in blocks? Are y'all going to pool your resources and have a black town everywhere like they got a Chinatown, like they got a Koreatown? Instead of being reactive, be proactive. And I'll be on here arguing with people that's messing with me. And y'all make it seem like I start these arguments. No, people feel some kind of way already. They think they're the cool kids. And when they got their whole group together, I'll come up there and the whole group will get at me. And then when I finally say something, oh, look at him. Because y'all want the funk. Y'all want the drama. Make another song about John Gold. No. Make another song about no. I've been saying on here all this time, I'd rather have allies and enemies. But you got a bunch of people on here that be talking about, we cool, we buddies, we this, we that. And then they talk crazy about Sharon, but Sharon got them same people that will be there every single day. You making a statement with you not being here. You making a statement with you not supporting the show. You making a statement. I'm okay with the statement, but that's what James Kills was over here trying to say the other day. Yeah, you fell off because blah 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 blah. And I said, that's cool, brother. I'm just gonna keep working.
You know how hard it is to rebuild a channel once you've had over like 4,000 or 5,000 subscribers, especially for years. You know how difficult it is to try to get back to that. I've been watching and I've seen not only you, but 3 or 4 different content creators who got their channels broken down who are struggling, you know what I'm saying, to get back to where they was at in a big way, right? I mean, so it's not just you, it's the whole collective group. This is just how that process works. It's an ugly process trying to get back to it.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm just gonna work until I'm about 500 away from getting monetized again. It's probably a week or two. I'll get to the subscribers in a minute. All I need is the watch hours now. These people that talk racial and then act like they're not talking racial crack me up. These women who say, "Oh, we don't man bash over here," and then go the men. No, that's that nice nasty bullshit. And you know,
Mr. Andrew, yeah,
it is what it is. But you know, I just try not to get all that emotionally invested in it. But yeah, if I'm on here for hours and hours and hours, and then we have American tradesmen come up and say, "You niggas need to go get a job," then say he the homie. It is what it is. That's the same crap that Stanley used to do. Come up here every day and tell me how dumb I am and say we buddies. You're high, you're low informational and highly opinionated. That's calling me a dummy, sir. I'm not slow.
Oh, you got some very your friends now is, you know what I'm saying, are very
they are not
bunch.
Friends is a strong word like hate. People ain't my friends. I'm just being, civil with them. I can be civil. And they take civility to mean we friends. He don't want to use that term, we're friends.
Yeah. Like do y'all know how I can donate to Carmelo Anthony's commissary fund?
No.
If he has one?
No.
Because he should be able to get some jujus and wham-whams while he's in there, shouldn't he?
I have a question. What do you get out of this, right? Do you know Carmelo? Did you know Austin? Do you know anybody involved in this case?
No, but I know what it's like to be in prison, okay?
Oh, God.
So,
now, how many, especially in this space, we need to do a survey of how many men over the age of 40 have been placed in detention or have been out of society, right? You know what I'm saying? For, how do you say it? For no reasons. I say that reasons right now. We need to know this space because the vast majority of dudes I've been running to on these panels, it's kind of wild. You know, right?
if there's a way I can send that motherfucker a candy bar right now, I'll do it.
Why are you calling him a motherfucker? See the slickness, Lord Yes.
And plus, you can send Nice a candy bar. You got $10, $15, $20. That's how much it costs in California to get a Hershey bar. About $20.
No, it's probably about $2.
I'm talking about Texas.
Well, Nice is in California, and he wants you know what I'm saying. He needs to go get groceries.
It's particular blacks he want to help. Do you send Stanley money? 12.
I've sent him $5 or $10.
Yeah, see, that's his buddy right there. Lord Yes. I told you, I'm persona non grata. What's going on, Speak Radio? My numbers fluctuate over here because, like you said, we starting all over again. But if I'm on somebody else's panel, it's when are you going on? Are you doing a show today? And my responses are going to be from now on. Oh, just send me $20. I'll go start one up right now.
You need to pump your channel in these chats. I think a lot of people just don't know that you're out here.
Man, I'm not pumping my channels in the chats. I was on Sharon's channel, and he told me to throw my channel in the chat and gave me a wrench. And while I was over there, was another content creator over there said, "Oh man, come to my channel tonight. You can do it tonight." And I went over his channel and put my channel in the chat. And then he said, "We not doing that." I don't even have the time to deal with these fickle ass people.
These crazy niggas. Yeah, it's just oh man.
He literally said, "Come to your channel and do this." I came and did it, and it was blah blah blah.
Just out there peacocking, telling everybody he got a channel too. That's all that was. I got a channel.
Well, his channel's pretty big.
Hey, people get jealous for less reasons, bro.
Yeah, I've been on a few channels where the channels is pretty big, and they, act like they thumping a little waterhead boy in the head and do the most. And then if you do something back, the whole clan or that group, it's junior high.
That's one thing I learned about these panels. They're constantly looking for a villain, right? On these panels, they're looking for a villain. So if you disagree with anything they say from your experience to theirs, you are now wrong for that. You know what I'm saying? And you need to correct that immediately. My life experience aren't your life experiences, right? I've experienced probably a whole lot more than vast majority. Nightish, you're the exception to the rule, if I can say it, right? Because I think you've overcome whatever you went through and made something great out of it. Did something beautiful for 26 years, right? You raised a family. I think that's dope. But the vast majority of these folks in this space, man, I mean, penitentiary mentality. I mean, really, really, really got some pin brain, right? And the way folks handle is just ghetto around here for the most part. I mean, really ghetto in the way things get handled around here, right? So when I go to certain panels and I talk to certain people, it's always the off-putting thing to say that you think this is wrong, but you accept this, right? So you say that I'm wrong, but this is right. And it's just, it can be so limiting. Nightish, I've literally had niggas jump on panels and literally try to dominate me for 40 plus women, right? I mean, you know what I'm saying? We talking about women in their 40s and you behaving like, you know what I'm saying? These women's in their 20s, they in their prime, and you ready to peacock and really show your stuff, right? These women in their 40s. I'm not going to compete with you for them. If they're going, they're going. If they're not, you in your 40s, I'm not going to waste my time over there fighting over, you know what I'm saying? It's just weird, right? But that's how this world works on YouTube in this space. It's a lot of like, how do you say it?
Junior high school people, like I just said before you started that. Yeah. So like we got Savage in the chat saying you don't go to people's panel to argue. I've been on Savage panel, I don't know how many times. Savage, have I ever argued on your panel? That's one. Have you ever seen me argue on Izzy's panel? That's two. Have you ever seen me argue on Sharon's panel? That's three. Do I need to go through the list of people whose panel I don't argue on? But this is what people will do. I'm on Izzy panel and Kills is there. So Kills, now I can talk to him because you can't block me here. He literally says that. I was on Candy Kane's panel and Stan was in the chat trying to have a whole argument with me and then came up on the panel. Y'all don't understand, y'all in junior high school, elementary school?
Embarrassed himself. That's what he did when he went on that panel calling those women names. If you don't like the conversation, if you don't like how you're being treated on the panel, just leave the panel. You don't have to stay around and make sure everybody know your disdain or whatnot, right? You know what I'm saying? I mean, after a while, you got to catch yourself in the moment. I do it too. So you know what I'm saying? I will cry out unclean on this panel. It's filthy up here.
Yeah, I've never seen you argue on the panel.
I mean, I've had my moments. I've had a few moments, but
that's what I'm saying. They'll take moments and say that's who you are. The way they'll say it is that I'm asleep every day on this panel. The way they tell it, I'm drunk every day on the panel. I've been here 4 years. So you mean for 4 years I've been asleep for 4 years? I've been drunk for 4 years. They just say stuff. What's going on, Irby Fatal? They just say stuff. They develop this whatever with you, and you stuck. You stuck there.
Facts until you can shake it. You know what I'm saying? Until you can shake it. You're right. I don't like to argue. I'm one of those people who like I was, I try to set the example of not too high, not too low, right? On a panel, I try to take everything in stride as jokes play in, but after a while, sometimes it does get on your nerves. You know what I'm saying? It's very annoying. It's so irritating and childish, so high schoolish. You know, right? And then everyone, like you said yesterday, everyone's got these strong opinions about stuff, right? Like he's super strong, and they come in as the expert with no degree, no certification, no training, but their life experience, and they are the experts. And it's just, I'm thinking to myself, man, this is how we being led. This is the leadership. This is what it looks like in this space, right? I mean, you got Hamp, and believe it or not, I honestly believe Chaotic Truth is one of the brighter minds in the space. The brother is smart. I will give Chaotic Truth that. I like having conversations with him sometimes because he knows his facts analytically and down in depth, right? He knows what he's talking about. I respect that, even though his topics sometimes are very off-putting, right? It's like, why would you want to even talk about that? But that's on him and whatever his crowd, a mob over there wants that
Well,
pay him.
it relates to people that he's around. So if him and John Galton can get together and be brave and gospel of Bob and talk about conservatism and how most blacks are slow, don't build anything, they can have their field day. But here's the thing, it's working for him. I'm not an extremist. I don't have these strong views about these women are this or these strong views about these men are this. So it's not fun. It's fun to be at a Sharon panel if you're a lady, so you can talk about how these niggas ain't shit. It's fun to be over there by Fatty and Ali, so you can hear about how these bitches ain't shit. There's a lot of people that's gonna be like, yeah. And then you can be the kind of panel be like, well, I'm not really a red pill or manosphere, but you talk about women a lot of time. I have people, women that come in this space early in the morning tell me that I talk about women all the time. What? What do I be saying about them? That's what I'm saying. If you listen to the stuff these people say, there's something wrong with you. These panels be about current affair topics. So if in the current moment they're talking about Megan Thee Stallion being hurt about somebody cheating on her, and she's a cheater, and she celebrates whore culture, so she calls herself a whore. Then why is it crazy when the dudes call her a whore? Is that a red pill or manosphere? Is that calling her what she calls herself? So it is what it is. But that's enough incentive for them to say, I'll never send you no money. Because I heard, listen, look what's her name came up here the other day and said. She changed her name, she changed her picture, and she's like, I find it very disrespectful that you would give somebody a wrench and then not know them. And I'm listening to her voice. I'm like, yeah, I don't know you. Who are you? Don't you see my name? I say, yeah, I do see your name. Well, who are you? But it's very off-putting. I say, I'll be drinking sometime. Who are you? Instead of just saying, it's my time. Oh, okay. What's going on? It's my time. These folks want to fight with somebody. I don't want to fight. Fight about what? You're not my wife.
I heard these folks in this space, I'll say it nicely, politely on the panel today. Some odd reason I just feel like to be polite today, right? You got these Negroes around here saying they wouldn't mess with Melissa Ford, they wouldn't mess with Megan Good,
Lie.
they wouldn't mess with Meg Thee Stallion. In reality,
lie.
If she came and dropped her napkin, then you gonna pick that shit up. I mean, walk it a mile. You gonna carry that shit around till you see her again. That could be years from now. You niggas gonna keep that napkin because at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? They say they don't want those women, but why would you not want those type of women? You know what I'm saying? Because
I mean, I wouldn't want them, but they're sexy,
very sexy,
they're attractive,
and very rich.
But I wouldn't want Melissa Ford to be my wife.
Oh,
I wouldn't want to be in a relationship with her. But aesthetically, yeah, she bad.
Yeah, you just gotta know how to handle those type of girls.
Yeah, I don't want to handle her. I don't want to handle nobody. That's why I'm alone now. I don't want to handle no broad. Because even when I hear the dudes that talk about, You got to mold your woman and make your woman because you don't want to eat another person's sandwich. I understand exactly what's being said. I don't have to teach no grown ass person nothing. Then when I hear these women talking about if a man be in his rightful place where he can be a sole provider, yeah, I don't want to have none of them discussions.
But
So I'm
isn't
alone
that the
now.
benefit to dating women in the like
Okay,
40s?
so let's talk about that. The idea of me being 56 and dating somebody is crazy. I would probably date my woman, but I'm not dating randos. Why am I giving a rando something?
I mean, the concept generally not. Remove it from you. Now that's one of the biggest.
No, I'm even talking about you're like in your 40s, right?
Yeah.
Do you just want to be a player and just want to mess with a bunch of different women?
Believe it or not, shit, I'm saying it. I've been saying a big pun now for years, but the environment I am won't allow me to slow down. It just won't. It's put it this way: they call this Black Hollywood for a reason.
Then that's not dating. That's fucking.
I'd say, you know, what I'm saying there's some intent there. Dating's based on intent, right?
Your intent is to fuck.
Not necessarily all the time.
If you don't want to be in a relationship, what else is that?
Well, you know, friendships, situationships.
So all them different women that you went through over the years, y'all still buddies and call each other, hook up every now and then?
Now, hooking up, I don't tend to play with them like that because I know how women are. Right, you start playing with them, they get emotional. Especially, you know, what I'm saying these women. A lot of my female friends are women in, you know, what I'm saying in their 30s and 40s, right? A lot.
So
of my
you wine and dine and pump and dump.
Sometimes, but not as stackly as I mean, not like I
see. Why you? No, this is an honest conversation I'm trying to have with you. Do these relationships or situationships last more than a year?
Shit, man. The last one I had last over a year was that chick I was with for 4 years, man. That was up to 2020. When was the election? 2024, November, December started to fall off, and then February, March 2025, it was over after 4 years. So it's obviously the last year some change. I've been out dating. Yeah, man. It's been a hell lot of pumping and dumping. I ain't gonna even lie to you just by the dealings with, right?
Yeah, but if that's what you into as a man, that's what you into as a man.
I just said you gotta go through the mush to find, you know, saying the gem, right? You gotta, you gotta dig through the coal to find a diamond, you know. And sometimes you gotta date. Normally in this city, you gotta date and mess with more than one chick to find a chick. This is how it works here.
The last person I had this conversation with, it sounds something like this, was Ronald. He said he had to vent them. I said, okay, so how does the venting work? Let's have a discussion about that. And the venting sound like wine and dine till you can pump and dump.
I mean, the meal initially, when you take somebody like on a dinner date or lunch date or breakfast date, I've taken girls on breakfast dates in Atlanta, right? So if you take someone on a date, the intent is to get to know them. You know what I'm saying? For me, at least, right? I already know I can put it this way. I got multiple sources and multiple ways to get in if I just want sex. I know I can get this sex relatively easy here in Atlanta. I mean, super easy. The goal is to find someone that's long term, right? Because you don't want it just for one night. You want it for years to come. You want this woman to be in your bed for years to come, right? So that requires a lot of conversation and process, right? To get to know exactly who they are. You know what I'm saying? And if y'all line up in the, you know, certain ways, right? And sometimes that requires a date or two. And you know what I'm saying? And let's just keep it real. If you're the one paying for the dates, you should be the one cutting, you know what I'm saying, whatever that thing is off if it ain't working, right? Even if you are getting, you know what I'm saying, sex. Because sex ain't everything. It really ain't nice. I mean, it's a great thing. And yeah, most dudes, let's be honest, internal instinct, we all kind of want that. You know what I'm saying? We desire sex, more sex. The more sex, the better for most men, including me. But at the end of the day, there has to be, you know, besides the sex, there has to be some other association there, right? We got to have more things in common than just sex if this is going to be anything long term. It just can't just be, okay, I think you're pretty and now you're my sex slave, right? There's got to be more to it than that. And so that's what the dating process is for, is figure out if there's more to it than just the sexual. Because in this day and age, Nidus, if you got the right type of gums, if you got the right type of, no saying, motion out here, you ain't got to do no dates and you still going to get what you want. I know dudes who don't go on dates and they still get what they want. They do a lot of online stuff, right? Talk to girls in DMs, go pick them up. Then sometimes I get lucky like that too. But in my 40s, I've come to realize that for one, I should have got married in my 20s or stayed married in my 20s or gotten remarried in my 30s before getting to my 40s, right? Then looking to get remarried again. But in this day and age, it used to be back in the day that was common, but nowadays it could be definitely a hill to have to climb, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And secondly, right? Let's just keep it honest with you. I mean, if you can actually, figure out who you're dealing with, especially me, I got like a 90-day, almost like a contract period, right? With most girls I date, where, you ain't gonna hear much from me. I'm just gonna be watching you, just like you watching me, right? You ain't gonna hear me putting no pushback. You ain't gonna hear a whole lot of corrections because I want to see who you are naturally. You know what I'm saying? Without me being on, you know what I'm saying, or having to step in, right? And in a lot of cases, you learn that you're dealing with, you know, immature princesses. A lot of women have princess syndrome where they think you're supposed to base your life around them, and just other little chaos cabbage, right? Like a lot of selfishness.
Seem like a lot of work, brother.
It really is, Nightish. It's so sometimes it feels like, man, I pray sometimes, God, just send me the wife. I'd rather not even be out here looking around. And on top of that, you're not even talking about STIs and STDs amongst these broads, right? You know what I'm saying? You don't know what nobody got out here. It's put it this way. If you in a relationship, don't get, be consider before you get out of that relationship that you up against. And then secondly, if you're in your 20s and your 30s, look to get married then. In your 40s, yeah, you got a lot more going for you and whatever, whatnot, right? But ultimately though, it's a lot more difficult because when people hear that you're 46, the expectation is for you to be this, that, and the other when you're not that. That happens a lot. A lot of women hear that, wow, you 46? Like, yeah. I'm 46. Damn. Okay. Then the expectation, well, I want this or this, that, and the other, or this is going on. It's really difficult to find quality people out here right now, especially in these dating pools. I'll just leave it at that.
Yes, sir. Quality people is an interesting thing, though. I think we all kind of just average. Nothing super special about us, no matter how many wings of fairies that people have, no matter how many AI images of themselves that look like whatever else. I think we just pretty much average. No matter how many restaurants you've been through, how many pictures you done took on vacation, pretty much average. People just overestimate themselves. They have delusions of grandeur.
Facts. That happens a lot. You know what I'm saying? Delusion is big in the streets, bro. It's huge out here in Atlanta.
But if it's supported by a guy, that's why they feel that way. Like I was talking about Adrian Broner and Dean the Great. If you got to have women sign NDAs to be around you, and they moving around the street the way they moving around the street, and then you saying that you're going to mess with a hoe, which a man can be called a hoe, but you mess with multiples of them. Yeah, they're partying until they need IVs.
Facts.
So it is what it is. That's what I think this lady is talking about when she said, y'all slaves so y'all can never be men. And that's what Pierce was over here talking about the other day, is because they supposedly control our minds.
You want them to get beat down and then be like, I apologize. Nigga miss me.
You did, Brownsville, you did say you're teaching your kids boxing and then you're telling them to do that in the street. That's illegal as fuck. Yeah, because after 20 days, you can't legally fight somebody. If you're a trained fighter, after 20 days of training, you can't legally strike another person in the street. Another thing is
that is not true. That's a lie.
Hold on. We're not
okay.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. We're not gonna just talk to be talking. Go ahead, Amago Day. He's been patient waiting. Go ahead, Amago Day. Oh, wait, before you go, I got a super chat in. Go ahead, Diva, and then Amago Day. If you're there, Diva. If you're not, maybe Diva's not there right now. Scorched Earth, 824 to 5 lives. In the face of injustice, can't expect justice of a corrupt system. When they have no problem, it's not us, just us. To them, we still 3/5 of a man. Shit. Go ahead, Amago Day.
Hey, Sharon, did you see the jury paperwork?
Not yet.
You didn't see the paperwork that they gave the jury while they was doing deliberations?
I did not.
Okay. So the reason why I asked that is because the things that I'm hearing, you could not have seen the jury paperwork saying these things. Do y'all know they added a manslaughter charge onto the case while they was doing deliberation?
Yeah.
Okay. So they had all the penal codes on the jury paper. While it is legal to carry a blade in Texas, that does not trump the rules of the school system. Whether y'all like. If you look at the jury paper, that's why I asked you. It doesn't. You can actually Google it. Pull it up. It wasn't a 3-inch blade. It was a 5-inch blade. Once again, pull up.
It was 3.5 inches. We got the documentation, bro. Okay. It was 3.5-inch blade, a 3.5-inch holding blade, bro. Come on.
Quick question: are they counting the whole blade, or they just counting the?
No, it's blade tip. It's blade end to blade tip.
Hold on for a minute. So
okay, because I've been hearing 2 different blades. I'm trying to figure out which one was it. Is it a 3-inch or 5-inch?
The tang is not included.
Grounds for self-defense. It is required for you to try to remove yourself from the environment. You do know that, right?
What state are you?
Where? No, wait. Where'd you get that from?
I literally.
Where'd you get that from?
Y'all see the jury papers while they were doing their deliberations.
So Texas has no obligation to plead, right?
Too many people talking one at a time.
Hold up. Hey, bro, I'm telling you from Texas. Texas has a no obligation to plead policy. You do not have to try to plead in Texas.
Okay.
I'm trying to understand where you got that from.
I was getting in that too, Brownsville. So am I going to go by what you're saying, or I'm going to go by what the actual jury had in their disposal to choose whether it's manslaughter or murder?
I got to ask you though, the jury the law, or are they trying to determine what?
They have the law in their hands.
No, they don't. They're not lawyers. You don't even They have information of the case. That's it. They don't give them no books about no law. But you're lying. They don't know legalese. You don't even know what legalese is, which is the language of law. You don't get that because you're a juror now. They present evidence, say this is what we're making the case on, and then they come to a determination from there.
Well, look, I'm gonna give you that. I'm gonna say if that was in the jury instructions, that's an improper instruction. Because in Texas, there's no obligation to flee or retreat when you are faced with a threat in the state of Texas. Texas has a strict stand your ground and castle doctrine state, meaning you have no legal duty to run away as long as you have a legal right to be in that location. So I'm gonna ask you. So I'm gonna ask you, do you have a legal right to be on school grounds?
One at a time. Slow down. We got to learn when we make a good point. When we make a good point, land it right there. That was a very good point. Shout out.
This is the last thing I want to say to you, because I just wanted to finish this. This is the last question. Do y'all know
before you move on to your next point?
No, this is I'm not moving.
Hold on. Before you go and finish up what you're saying, do you agree that in Texas, Shadow is correct about that law?
No, because the jury paper said otherwise. I'm only going to go.
Shadow is correct. Shadow is correct.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on 1 second. So, do you believe that the paper that they gave the jurors, was factual, or what the law actual says is factual? Because if they misled the jury, guess what? It's going to lead back to what I was saying earlier. And that appeal is going to work. But do you think they misled? Do you think they misled the jurors? Because we could pull up the no retreat law in Texas.
Right. Okay. So no, because they had it right there on the paper. They had the laws on the paperwork. And it's other statutes that you have to go down the list that was under. It was under section 1931 and 1934. And this Brownsville brought up, this last thing I want to say, there also has to be equal proportionality.
That's not how standing groundwork. Listen, in court, right? We could both go for the same angle of law.
That's so not true what I was saying.
All right. Yeah,
we can use the same.
It's nice. Stop the video.
You seem to not understand legalese itself. Because that's what
you got evidence of that?
Yeah, you don't know what you're doing.
Show it to me. Don't fucking talk.
Legalese, I'm telling you, that's what you're doing.
I don't want you to tell me.
Brothers, hold on. No F-bombs, no M-bombs. It's $2 for each one. If you can't pay it, don't use it. KT, finish what you're saying, so Imago Day can rebuttal what you were saying. Go ahead, KT.
When we come to court, we can both have a law, right? We can say we're going to both stand on the ground of the searching the Jerry. I can't remember what it's called, where you don't have to identify a search, right? Where the prosecution will present their side of the story and say, according to these laws, guidelines, whatever, this is where we're coming from this angle. You're thinking that because that's their presentation, that means that that's actually what it is, and that's just not how it works in court theory.
Okay, go ahead, Michael Day.
Let's see. These are the usual suspects too. These been the same people that's been arguing with folks the whole 4 years I've been here.
I don't understand. What do you get out of inciting people and rubbing a verdict in people's face and wounds, man? right after it happened that day, right? I get this is
Because
all.
they ultimately don't really care.
I don't think it's that. I think they get some type of kick out of that,
You
right? Some
think
type
you
of
think they
power.
care really?
I think they do get, a sense of power out of that, right? I think that's, that's empowering to them for some odd reason. But it is what it is, right? I mean, me personally,
No. I'm trying to understand what you're saying. They get some power out of a young man who's stabbed in the chest and gone, and the other one just got 35 years by talking about it for a week or two.
facts. Just the feeling of being right. The need to be right egos, man, are huge. Even amongst people who really don't have no part in that circumstance or situation. And you see these egos starting to flare a little bit up here. People start, chest thumping, right? Start beating their chest and screaming and yelling and fighting. People are already aggravated as it is by the whole circumstance situation.
I don't
I
think
just don't
they
see.
are. I think that's all. I think that's what you said. I think that's performative right there. The
Facts.
part where they're angry, I think that's performative.
Facts.
Now, this is just a topic and this is just content. If we can just keep them talking, like whether they talking and having a rational conversation or they talking and yelling at each other, it doesn't matter. Keep the attention here. Keep the attention here. Okay. We got some hotheads on here or villains or whatever else. Keep the attention because that's called retention. Retain. How long can we keep these numbers up? We got to have something for these people to look at. Versus us having this conversation is a little too calm. Just a little too calm. We need to be up here like the other day when I let Imperius up here. I already know what Imperius is gonna do. We're not doing that. I already know what Rishon was gonna do when he got up here. We're not doing that. I already know what James Hill's gonna do when he get up here. And they follow people around and act like they're not weird. Folks be hate watching and hate listening, and then going to do a stream on you. Stuff is.
I mean, it's the same thing with Izzy channel, right? I'll call out. Y'all tend to attract broken toys over here, right? On those channels for some reason. It's in the island of broken toys. You attract the broken toys, but at least they pay dividends. I mean, if you're gonna be broken, at least pay up, right? So I could tolerate it. I get that 1,000, 100,000%, believe it or not, because it's hard to listen to this type of shit all day. It really is. It's hard to listen to this shit all day, especially when you got folks up here just, overreacting in some cases, and others, loving to take that stick out and poke them with it. I was right. We was right. It's. I just don't understand what gains are to be made from that, right? I mean, I could see if you came 2 or 3 days later, give everybody a chance, to, at least a couple of days to settle in, and then go up there and start, stating your point. But I mean, on site, it's as soon as it happens, niggas is on panels. Jumping on niggas' necks about this. It's insane.
It's a dopamine hit.
Facts.
No, all I gotta say is okay. Here,
now, so the law that you pulled up, section 19. I'm going to say section 19 and 31. What is it that I'm pulling up with that?
Read it. Do you have it pulled up? Just read it out.
What article is it? Article. Do we know? Yeah, because you just giving me the section 19 and section 31. But do you know what article?
I'm saying section 31 start from the beginning. It's right there in the first part, and then go down to 1934.
Okay. Do anybody know what article?
Sure. So let's be a little more specific. If you go to Texas Penal Code subsection 931, it governs the use of regular. It's exactly what Brownsville and Amago are actually talking about. It's section 932. Yeah, 9.31. I mean, 9.31 and 9.32. Right, yes. I got you, bro. Don't worry, Amago, I got you. It's 9.31 and it's 9.32. It's the governing the use of regular force versus governing the use of deadly force.
Okay. Texas Penal Code section 931 allows a person to use force to protect themselves when they reasonably believe it is immediately necessary to stop another unlawful force.
All right, Nadish. Okay. I gotta get back to it, brother.
All right, salute.
That's what it says.
And deadly force goes to the next level, and that's under 932 or 9.32.
Doesn't always mean money. Yeah, retention is the other part. That's all it is on here. You can hit the like button. You can share, and you can sit here and listen. It's not just the money, it's those other things. And people need those things to do what? Get monetized, to do what? Have memberships, to do what? To get money. If you can get 100 members at $2 a member, that's $200 you're getting straight up front. But yeah, it's more ways than one. But that's the thing. As limited as the support is, and as limited as people be over here, I'm still doing the show. I'm still doing the show. So when people bring information, they bad listeners is all. Like the homie, American tradesman say, y'all need to get a job. This is a job. I don't know why people think it's not. I'm reacting to a reaction. Yeah, I'm reacting to the things that these people are saying. I'm saying that it's draining to be this passionate and angry when you're not finna go be a judge. You're not teaching your kids to be police officers. You're not teaching your kids to be teachers. You're not learning how to do construction. You're not going to get 19 families together and go somewhere and build your own little town and create your own little ecosystem. When you keep doing those things like we used to do, then that's different. And I would think when you do those things, you wouldn't want to be on the panel yelling. You would be having a channel about how y'all building, how y'all working together, how y'all functioning as a community. You'd be talking about your families and all that other stuff. And I think that's good content. One of the shows I watch on here is called Country Style. That show is mostly about people farming, cooking, and being together with their family, arguing at the kitchen table or whatever else. A glimpse of life.
Yes.
But don't school grounds trump that?
Okay. Also, core principles. Let me read. I can read the core principles. Core principles of Section 9. Reasonable belief. The actor must genuinely and reasonably believe that force is necessary. That means an ordinary person in the same situation would likely reach the same conclusion. This defense lawyer is trash. Oh my god.
500 hours. I got 500 left.
Immediately necessity. The threat must be happening at the moment. Force cannot be used for past threats or hypothetical future dangers. Oh my God, this defense lawyer was horrible.
And that's when he said if you don't leave, I will beat your ass. Hold up, Brownsville, because we just had to stop.
One at a time. The prosecutor asked all of the witnesses, right? All the kids who were there, right? If you was in that position, would you have responded that same way? And all of them said no. All of them said Carmelo Anthony escalated the situation. Right?
No. Wait, hold up, Brownsville. You misstated what they said.
Let them finish, y'all. We having a good show. Let them finish. Shadow, you get first. You get first dibs.
That's why that statute is very important, because another reasonable person has to logically determine that they would make the same decision that you made, right? Which is what truth is talking about. So the jury has to decide. If you are in Carmelo Anthony's position and they are shoving you, would you pull a knife out and stab him in the chest? And all of them said no.
Damn.
They lying like hell. They didn't have a mic to do it.
Please.
They lying like hell. They didn't have a mic to do it, bro. I disagree with that.
Okay, Pastor, you get a chance to approach the conversation as well.
Pastor, I got you.
Shadow.
All right, so
don't need to speak for me, brother. I got it. Because a lot of y'all Collin County cats. The reason why this happened in Collin County, because those brothers are not like the brothers in South Dallas. I live in South Dallas. There ain't no white boys. There ain't no black boys getting ran up on by no white boys. They ain't having established. Y'all put yourselves in that position in Collin County. Y'all got a little bit of money in y'all pockets. Y'all went and lived in North Dallas. Y'all went and said, I'd rather live around them than live around my own. And y'all outnumbered. And y'all put yourself in that awkward position where you can't really protect yourself. That's what really happened.
Okay. All right. So go ahead, Shadow.
Better. So, I mean, I agree with Pastor to an extent anyway. So either way. But here's the issue with what Brownsville just said. And I like how he did it because it actually made sense. Flaws. Number one, it's the perceived force. The question that they asked all those people wasn't, if you felt threatened, would you have responded? That's what 931 is actually about. Instead, you said, would you have stabbed them in that same positioning? And all those people who the government pre-organized, who they pre-set up, said, and I quote, no, we would not have stabbed him. That is not the same situation as justified use of force for self-defense. What the government did is they misrepresented self-defense, but misrepresentation of equal force. They were saying if you wouldn't have stabbed him, then he's guilty. Instead of if you wouldn't have responded, you're still guilty. There were 4 people who came in as the aggressors. Keep in mind, the same people they brought up to testify said Carmelo Anthony followed them in, and they showed that Anthony was there.
And they're just gonna struggle with this point. The part of the show that I wanted to see, we've gotten through that part. Now let's move on over to this. Let's move on over to this because there's so many different, perspectives and angles on this thing. Let me see. That is 5S. So we don't have that in there. So 5S. Beat, 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 beat. Ba 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 bum 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 ba bum. Ba ba bum bum ba bum. Let me see. This last thing in here. Close that. Close that. And then it is share this. Add this. Is full screen it up. Bam. Come over here. We want to speed it up. Speed it up. 1. Let me see. Sending route. There it is. And here.
So the verdict will be tomorrow. And the truth will be right. Nope. Truth will be wrong as usual. Okay, let me drop the link. It's an hour. Yes, an hour. Okay, let me drop the link. I dropped the link.
Lying, dirty dogs.
If evidence does come out that Carmelo was not in fact fighting for his life when he stabbed and killed Austin Metcalf, do you think that the Black community will accept that?
No, we're going to stand by ours regardless. They stand by theirs.
He was not an aggressor. Carmelo was not an aggressor.
Anthony's defense attorneys say he stabbed Metcalf, who was unarmed, out of fear, as a group was, quote, turning on him. But prosecutors...
Nigga, are you blind? I dropped it. The link dropped, bro. It's crazy.
Yesterday in court showed jurors surveillance footage they say tells a different story.
If you're carrying a balance on your credit cards, that debt is costing you money every single day that you wait. A lot of solutions for you. They're top rated with thousands of...
Metcalf after...
What's up, Miss Bella? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Oh, shit. Wait. Let me see what I dropped. Oh, God damn, truth. I apologize. God damn. Shit. I got to tell this nigga I'm sorry. God damn it. I know. I'm dropping it right now. What up, Savage? Fuck true. Shit. This nigga right. God damn it. Shit. Hold on. What's up, Rilla? I'm finna send it right now, bro. For real. There you go. All right, it's dropped, y'all. My bad.
So then everybody was talking about this guy, this black guy, came out and said, oh, I saw the video. And he went into this whole soliloquy about how he broke the video down. We later found out that the guy who was giving this information is an actual sex offender. Oh, a child sex offender.
Hold on. Which one you say it, True? Which one?
So everybody was saying the video was out.
Right.
The reason why they thought the video was out, because this guy came on and said, I seen the video. So everybody ran with it, not checking nobody's credibility. They just saw a black man with glasses with a button-up shirt on, and he came on there talking and gave him all the information that everybody wanted to hear about him being held out and choked out and everything like that.
Right.
And he lied completely. We later found out that same guy was an actual sex offender.
Wow.
So that's the first thing. That's the second thing. The third thing, we found out they do have a video. Guess what the video shows, Drip? Nada. It shows after the incident happened, when everybody surrounded because Metcalf was on the ground bleeding out. That's what they showed. It didn't show the attack. So that's why the defense didn't use it, because it does not help them. That would have been what's called a smoking gun. So they found that out. So then today, which they beautifully did, they went down the line, they called their witnesses, and then they were supposed to call Austin up there. Was it Austin or Hunter? I keep mixing them up.
Hunter's the one that. No, Hunter is the brother.
Hunter is the brother, yeah. So they're supposed to call Hunter up there to talk. And then the next thing you know, I don't know if they talked to him, but next thing you know, it says they have no more witnesses. They have nothing else to bring up. They are rested. They have completely rested everything. Tomorrow, they're going to get closing arguments. The jury is going to go back there. And I promise you, it won't be no more than probably 45 minutes to an hour. It's not even going to take long. And they're going to come out with the verdict. And then we can all, like, tomorrow. It ain't even going to take long. Because it's done, bro. The kid did it. He was wrong. And he needs to be.
And then we got folks going from show to show to show saying the same thing they say on every single show. So Truth was over here saying this. Chicago was over here the other day saying this. I haven't seen Sale, but Sale saying what he's saying on this panel. It is what it is. But let me see. I got 2.5 hours in. I'm probably going to be on a couple times today. But for now, I'm going to say the thing I often say, which is be great. I'll probably be back in about 3 hours or so.
We'll shut this motherfucker down.
That's all, folks.